Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem Algebra out of Atlanta, but this is my sister from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Zamari. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing good, man. I gotta say it. I know you want to hear it. I'm high and a happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud to be here this morning. Had a great weekend and did a lot of things, man. Shot a couple of videos and things of that nature, man. So I got some stuff that's coming forward. Actually, I posted one already. I posted one about the seeking. No, I can't pull it up yet because I did not post it on the on my site yet. But I'll show it to you all tomorrow. It's the video for we doing a beauty pageant for young ladies. We're doing a beauty pageant for young ladies. Now listen at this now. We're doing a beauty pageant for young ladies 50 and above, 50 years young and above. Yes, it's gonna
I
be August.
love it.
I wish you and your family could come to town, man, to see this thing. It's gonna be Saturday, August the 26th, starting at 8 o'clock. We got everything lined up. We getting out of contestants together right now. Once we get the contestants, we're gonna go into the rehearsals. It's gonna be amazing. Young ladies 50 and above. 50 and
I
above.
absolutely love that because so many women, as we get older, because I'm 44. I have to think about
Mhm.
that sometimes, but I'm 44, and we don't
Yeah.
always see ourselves as youthful and vibrant and beautiful. I feel
Mhm.
like after 40, we kind of lose that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's so good because that's gonna make them feel like their best selves. They're gonna realize they still have that beauty to them.
Exactly. Our tagline
What's that?
is Miss Golden Years, and the tagline is beauty is timeless.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's good. So
love it.
yeah, man, I wish you and the family could actually come down, man, and see it. I think it's gonna be a great evening. I think everybody that's gonna be there gonna actually have a good time. I'm hoping, but we're gonna put our best foot forward, man. We're gonna put our best foot forward and just see what happens.
If we didn't
If we
have
didn't
plans already,
Mhm,
okay, we already have a trip planned because my
mhm.
daughter is due in July.
Okay. Mhm.
Or maybe it is August. I can't remember now because I think the date has changed. Her due date's changed.
Yeah.
But so we're going to be going up there or down there instead
Mhm.
to
Okay.
see her and
Now,
the baby.
what's down there? Where is she?
She's actually in Texas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
okay. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I was in Texas. My wife and I went to Texas. What was it? Was it October? I think it was. We went to because the Badger was gonna come and meet us, but things didn't work out the way it was a little distance he had to travel. But we was in Houston, Texas, a couple of months ago, and we're planning on because I'm gonna tell you what my wife and I would like to do. We like to because she's an educator, her schedule is kind of a little hectic, and she's limited with the time off. But she do get time off, and every time she gets extended time off, we like to go somewhere, go to a different state that we've never been to before. We went to Vegas last couple of we went to Hawaii, Vegas, Houston, and now we're scheduled to go to Dallas, Texas.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Okay. I remember Dallas when I lived down there.
Okay, is it
Because
nice?
we would I liked it. It depend well, okay. All right, Raheem,
Uh
look.
oh, come on.
I'm just gonna tell you because the stuff that I like and the things that you probably like are vastly different.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I liked hanging out. So I liked hanging out where, the punk kids and the grunge kids and where the
Mhm.
heavy metal music was. So
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
it was a really good time.
Okay,
But
okay.
there's a lot of good eats from what I remember. I'm sure it's
Mhm.
changed because I haven't been there in ages.
Okay, okay.
But it was a good time. So
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't know if it's the same though, because that was like 20 plus years ago.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it is. Yeah, and I have a good time. I have a good time just picking at the Dallas Cowboy fans because I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler, and so I have I just pick at everybody I see. Man, you like them Dallas Cowboys? Man, y'all be shaming yourself around here. Man. how could y'all even have a team like that? You know, and you have to gauge the people. You don't just go up to anybody and say that, because some people take it real seriously, man. And you might find yourself in a 12-round fight. And I'm not trying to do that. But if I gauge first, I talk to the person and find out, they're pretty cool, and I can have a conversation with them. I'm gonna talk to them about the old raggedy Dallas Cowboys. The old raggedy Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how a person could like a team like that. I
I
have
don't
no
know how
idea.
anybody can like any team though, Raheem, but I don't like sports, so
Mhm.
you
I'm a
know.
sports. I'm a sportsy. I can't wait. I can't wait. I will wait. Definitely have to wait. But Sunday, the Super Bowl, man. I'm going. My wife already told me she's getting wings, hot wings, and all that stuff, man, and the chips and all that, the dips and all that stuff, man. And we're gonna sit there. We don't drink, so we ain't got to worry about that part. But we gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. Now, got a question for you.
I'm ready.
We're gonna talk about respect today. We're gonna talk a little bit about respect.
Ooh, like
Um,
Aretha Franklin saying, "Come
Come
on."
on, RESPECT. Tell
Exactly.
me what it means to me. But in regards to in regards to respect, do we expect other people to respect us more than we a lot of time respect ourselves?
Ooh, ourselves?
Yes, because and the reason why I
Ooh.
say that, because I turn to a lot of my, and we not talking about us in particular. We just talking about as a whole. But I turn to a lot of my social media, my Facebook, certainly my Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that, and I see a lot of people borderline of not just totally disrespecting themselves in the way that they're presenting themselves, but respect me. Give me you respect on my name. But hold on, you're disrespecting your own name. Look at you. You turning around and you got everything you got tooted up into the camera, and
Ooh.
you dropping it and popping it and blocking it and locking it. And the guys, they walking around, and they got all the pants sagging down, and they doing all these different things, talking all crazy out their mouth and stuff like that. And you're not respecting yourself. But you want me to respect somebody or someone that's not even respecting themselves. So my question is, do we expect more respect out of others than what we give to ourselves?
I think that in those circumstances, the examples that you gave,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think they think that what they're doing is should not. How can I say this? It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's okay to do because they're still an intelligent human being, and you should still respect them because they still, in their mind, some way they have respect for themselves.
Mm.
Does that
But
make sense?
yeah, but are they displaying it though? That's my thing. Are they displaying?
Okay,
Uh,
so I don't I know that this is a family channel you got going here, but let's
mm-hmm,
just be real about it, okay?
mm-hmm.
Have you heard of OnlyFans, for instance? It's an
Yes,
adult
I heard him.
website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So there's the
Now I
women
know
that
some stuff now.
okay, I mean, look, there's still a lot of people that don't know about it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm,
saying?
mm-hmm.
So, but
Absolutely.
the women that are on there, okay, they do that, and then they still expect to be treated some other kind of way when they go outside
Mhm.
of their house and someone might
Yes.
recognize them or know who they are, but you're already disrespecting yourself by doing something like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think that they do. I think in most cases, because in their minds they have this higher standard of who they are, even though they're doing this other thing. But that doesn't have any bearing. How I'm dressing, how I look, I could have it all hanging out, but you need to respect me and don't
Mhm.
stare too much.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I've always had a problem with that, right? And even look, even with my daughters, because it's really hard raising girls.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
So
Yes,
when
Lord.
we go out and I see a girl dressed a certain kind of way that I would never allow any of my daughters to dress, I make a point to say, that is why you don't dress like that. That
Mhm.
is why you
Mhm.
have to be careful with how you're going out. And there's manners to being there. There's just etiquette to being a female overall, right? If you're wearing a dress, you kneel down. You don't
Yeah.
bend
Yeah.
down when you're
Yeah.
picking
Yeah.
something up, right?
Mhm.
So there's all of those things that go
And
along
when
with
you
that.
sit and when you're sitting down, close your legs.
Yeah,
You
exactly,
have a
right?
dress on.
Exactly. And so
Mhm.
I teach my girls that. But a lot of people, either they don't, or as the girls get older, they just don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be sitting there any kind of way, bending over when they've got that skirt on. And so I do try to teach my daughters that etiquette, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not about what somebody's going to see. It's about you having respect enough for yourself so that they
Yes.
don't.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So no, Raheen, no, I do. I think that they do just expect us to respect them, even though they're not respecting themselves. Because I
Mm-hmm.
would talk crap even about myself when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger. And I think I've told you, but that used to really irritate the heck out of my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really
I'm glad.
understand
I'm
it.
glad. I'm glad you said heck. I'm glad you said
I almost said the other thing. I had it was like, heck. The other one almost came out. But
Exactly.
as I've gotten older, and I now, I understand it so much better where he's coming from with don't put yourself down, don't talk down about yourself like this. Because the less that I do that, the more I'm finding that I have more confidence and respect to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But even when I didn't have that respect inside myself, I was still expecting people to respect me,
Yes.
but I hated
Yes.
myself at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah.
And see, you said something about your past. You said that you were that person, or well, certainly used to be that person. You're certainly not that person now. But you thrived on making people feel miserable.
I did. I absolutely
Wow.
did. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Wow. That's something. That's something right there. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson is on with us this morning. One of your favorite people, Donald Tucson.
Love him. Love him.
Don't make his head too big. His head already big. But good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
See where you went, right here.
What, what's going on,
Where
Captain?
you went. It's ain't nothing good, man. You some people you have to get at the bottom of the barrel. They can help you with all the mud
Oh Lord,
that you go through in life.
that grimy stuff. They grimy stuff. But Tucson, let me ask you a question, brother. And good to have you this morning. A lot of times, do you think people, and then we're talking as a whole, do you think people sometimes expect people to respect them more than they respect themselves?
Oh,
I know
well, it's gonna be good.
I got a good question. When you ask me the question, they say, hold on, this gonna be good. That's a good question. But talk to me, Tucson. What do you?
Yeah.
Because I see, and I know you see, if you go on TikTok and Instagram and different places like that, you see people on there, male and female, totally disrespecting themselves, but they want
Yeah.
respect. They want respect me. Wait a minute, ain't you the same one that was
Uh-huh.
just? But go ahead, Tucson.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you made me think about. Let me use this phrase and see what you think about what that makes you uh, put on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
What you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
What you
you
showing?
half naked.
I'm looking at what you showing. I'm looking at what you showing, and you got to get that look. And somebody, you got to get that look on your face. You got to look like what you showing. You got to
Yeah,
say
I
looks.
mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
I say what I want to. You
Mm-hmm.
dirty mouth.
Exactly.
Remember how we used to? I don't know if y'all did, but remember when them old folks used to make us wash our mouth out with soap?
Tucson, you might be a little older than we are, brother. I don't remember washing my mouth out now.
No, hold on, because my mom used to do that crap to us.
Oh Lord. see, y'all old folks. Look, I ain't got there yet.
Well, you had a different set of parents and the older folks, because it didn't have to be your mama.
I look
It could be your auntie. They'll make you wash your mouth out with soap.
I had it. They didn't use soap for me. They used a belt. That belt was the cleanser.
That came with it.
That was the cleanser.
It.
Yes, sir.
For real. And with the backhand slap.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that decent. But no, I mean, I don't know if some people don't get this wrong. There are some people don't know they're ignorant. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do disrespectful things.
Come on.
Or ignorant things.
Mm-hmm.
to themselves, and they stand up with their chest out like they really done something, or they feel like sometimes they don't say nothing, but they think they just poured out a bunch of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying to myself,
Lord Jesus.
you know how a person, they really feel like they said something deep.
Lord Jesus.
And it's not even a surface conversation.
Tucson, man, how you gonna go to the corner this early in the morning, brother? This is, man, look here.
You put
Ain't
it,
even
you
7:30,
got it
man.
out there.
Look, ain't
You
even
put it out
7:30.
there. I mean, okay, let's do this. Okay, there's these bunch of disrespectful leadership that we have all over in every entity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they proud and arrogant. They stuck up, and it's all about them.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to walk around like they deserve some respect from somebody. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I almost said something. I almost went straight to the corner,
All the way.
all the way. I was finna throw out the Leonard Cassandra combination
Good Lord. 2-piece.
with a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of Rico entangled all in it.
Good Lord. Yeah.
Not the morning glow Rico,
Mm-hmm.
the taking a walk type Rico.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation there, brother. That's a whole different conversation. Mm-hmm.
No, but they want respect. I wish I would,
Mm-hmm.
Raheem. I wish I would wipe somebody's face for them
Yeah.
when they got two hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that disrespect themselves, but then they feel like they earn respect
Mm-hmm.
for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That confuses the heck out of me.
Yeah. Boy, I'm glad y'all using that word heck this morning. Both of y'all done used the word a couple of times, but I'm glad y'all
See?
heck the
We're on
heck
the
out of me.
same page.
Yeah, exactly. Zamar, talk to me, sis.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, you can't really dwell too much on this topic, I don't think, because it's either you respect yourself or you don't,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you think you do, but you really don't, and I always found it interesting. It kind of goes along with the whole idea of you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself.
Yes.
And I always thought that was crazy. Well, I love my kids. I love my husband. So what are you talking about? I'm perfectly fine. But then the more that I come to like who I am,
Yes.
I find that I can give more love,
Mm-hmm.
a more genuine type of love. So it's this kind of the same thing. Like if you don't respect yourself and showing all of your little bits,
Mm-hmm.
you're not really, yeah.
It's a lot tied into that, man, because a person will actually, Zamar, they'll want to fight you if they feel as though you disrespected them.
Yeah,
But
and okay, so I used to I'm pretty sure we've all gotten to that point at some point in our lives. I don't care who you are. But we've all been there, right? Where someone gets us to a point where we feel disrespected and we're all up in our emotions and feelings and we want to say some things and do some things. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And I'm very guilty of that. If someone said something that I dubbed as off color, oh yeah, I wanted to come at you.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in a fight in my life, but I'll tell you what, every time I wanted to, somebody pulled me back and said, heck to the no.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And it's probably for the best, honestly. But it's just, we don't want to take the time to actually listen to what the other person is saying to us. We just want to get in our feelings about it first.
Mm-hmm.
And now now that I'm in my 40s, it's like, okay, well, let me try to actually listen and understand, not just hear, so that I can see where you're coming from, your point of view, your perspective, and then I can understand better why you feel this way, why you're saying this thing, whatever it is. And it's the same thing with these girls who do these sorts of things that we're talking about, or guys, whatever. But I've asked them, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Help me to understand why you're doing this, and just I never said disrespecting yourself, but what has made you go to that level that you're doing this thing? And honestly, for them, where they are in their lives, the reasoning is sound.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with it, but the reasoning is sound. I get why they're doing it.
Would you feel the same way a person that's actually doing drugs, heroin, crack, cocaine,
Well,
meth, or
no,
whatever,
because that
whatever
can
it is?
actually kill you.
Yeah, but they're doing that. They want you to respect them, but yet still you see the result of what they're doing to themselves. And so I think for a person to do something like that, they're totally disrespecting themselves to get themselves to the point where they're going to rely on those drugs, because those drugs, I've seen drugs like that take over people, man, in terrible, terrible, terrible ways. I've seen them take over people on Tucson in terrible ways, man. Whereas,
Go.
uh-oh.
I had my finger on my button, so I thought I had muted it, but apparently it was already muted.
Yeah, it said, I heard you say go. I said, oh Lord, Mama Bear standing up.
Yes,
Mama Bear standing
Mama
up.
came out.
Mama Bear standing up. Mama Bear.
Hold on one
Absolutely.
second.
Yeah. But Tucson, talk to me though, brother. Drugs, man, when they own them drugs, but they still want you to respect them. They want you to they in their mind, they're the same person that they used to be when they were quote unquote maybe respected or respected by the community and everybody else. But now they're a different person because the drugs has taken over and now they're not the same. But they want you to respect them, Tucson. Put some respect on my name.
Mhm. I saw a person at 11 o'clock at night had a screen door on their shoulder.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
And they was trying to sell it.
Mm.
You want to
Wow.
and a bug, one of them lights that kill bugs, you
Mhm.
put on your porch. You had one of them too.
Yeah. Good Lord.
I think I went on it. I think I went on and got that from
Uh-oh.
them. I incriminated myself.
Yeah. You out here selling the screen though.
but-
Let me get that. Let me get that.
Not the street though. But look, now you're gonna take a turn on me
Mm-hmm.
right here, because I've learned no matter what predicament a person is in, they still deserve respect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Okay. That's good. That's
Because
good. And that's
you
huge
can't
of
look
you.
at a person
Yeah.
because of their predicament,
Mm-hmm.
and they may not respect themselves, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to respect them.
Yeah. That's good.
Respect the homeless
Mm-hmm.
for who they are. They're people.
Mm-hmm.
They may have gotten themselves in a predicament for some odd reason. It might be drugs. It might be heroin or whatever other prescription drugs that put you into the same hole.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a expensive high,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I believe that if you show a person it kind of respect with a little bit of love, it might help them to realize the respect that you want. You need to do something to revive it,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to get out of your system. I remember I can't say my I ain't gonna say that, a person
Mm-hmm.
that he was actually thought he was a recovering alcoholic,
Okay.
and he had got to the point that he was really got involved in the church, and he had a testimony of recovery. I've been delivered. That's what his word was.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled him off to the side. I said, "Stop that testimony, because that's not for you. That's for your listeners.
Yeah.
You're getting people to believe that you recovered. But I'm tell you something. circumstances that cause you to run back to where you came from if you're
Mm-hmm.
not careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, his father died.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it took.
Wow. Drinking all
And
over again.
he would rather stay under the tree
Mm.
than go home.
Wow.
And he would. And I'd go get him under the tree. Come on, get in this car.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted to fight. I said, well, we can do that after we finish fighting. I still want to talk to you
Mm-hmm.
if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I can go. That's what he said. I can go. I said, okay, that's fine. But it got to the point that I tried to keep the respect for the person rather than the addiction or the sickness or whatever
Mm-hmm.
you call alcoholism. It's a sickness.
Yeah, it is. It
It's
is.
a disease like anything else. It's like cancer.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is hit one spot. If you don't be careful, it spreads.
It spreads all over. Absolutely.
Oh man, what you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned that you have to, unfortunately, respect folks that don't respect themselves.
Tucson, if you got 5 friends, that are, and we're gonna just say alcoholics, we can say drugs or whatever, but if you got 5 friends that's alcoholics, and if you hang around those people, those 5 friends long enough, are you gonna be the 6th one?
Yeah, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well possible if you don't have the right faith. Yes, because I remember the guy that had a girlfriend that he wanted to help her with her addiction,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he kept helping her with her addiction until he was addicted.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Zamari,
that turned on him.
mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Zamari, I saw you shaking your head. No, you don't agree with that?
No, because okay, do you want to get into the science of it?
Come on, let's talk science.
Okay, let's get into the science of it. Do you know that you have in your genetics either you're an alcoholic or I'm going to say you're an addict or you're not.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you don't have that in you to do, you're not going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you're around 100 of them, you're not going to be. Will you drink more than you normally do? Probably. But are you actually going to be a bona fide alcoholic or addict? No.
Mm-hmm. What if it's drugs? What if it's crack, cocaine, heroin, meth, something like that?
Okay, that's a little different because they do say that's addictive, right?
Yeah.
They say there's
Mm-hmm.
something in that where you just crave it and you want it. It's just like tobacco, right?
Mm-hmm.
So worse than tobacco, but still, you know my point.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different. But as far as just like your basic stuff, well, I can't even say basic because alcohol is pretty serious. But if you don't, with alcohol, I can say unless you, because I've read this, I've seen this on not talk shows because I don't watch talk shows, but just science stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something in us that, which sucks, right? But it's like it's predetermined. We either are or we aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But with certain drugs, especially, like we all know that those are highly addictive. You can have a perfectly normal, healthy person, and then they just do it one time, and it just changes their entire trajectory, and everything is about that next high. So, it sucks, man. It sucks, but I don't know. Okay, that's fine, Raheem. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't ever want to be that way. I've had every opportunity to be that way, but thank God that never happened to me. And I never did anything hardcore like that either. I smoked weed and I, drank alcohol, which I still do once in a while. I drink wine, but I don't know. I kind of agree with what Tucson said though. With he's learned that you have to respect people even when they don't respect themselves. And that made me think of sometimes you respecting a person is showing them how they how they could be, or like their value. It shows them their value.
Okay. Okay.
And so sometimes it takes you doing that to get them to a place where they realize that they're worth more than they think they are, or to understand that they're not respecting themselves as much as they could be, or as much as they think that they already are respecting themselves. So
Okay.
it does help to change them a little bit, their mindset and where they are. And so that, I mean, that was really good, Toussaint.
Yeah,
It
see,
was.
his head done swell. I gotta get him some kind of medication to get that head to shrink a little bit. Cause you know the head. But Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Toussaint, a
Right
good
here,
dude, man. Toussaint's a good dude.
my brother. We we was kind of in a discussion on whether or not he might be heading into a state of being alcoholic. he
Mm-hmm.
straightened that right off.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "No." He says, "There's a difference between me and alcoholics." And we was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "They go to meetings. I ain't going to no meeting."
Lord, he got his mind made up. And see, and that's a part of it right there too. So a lot of times when a person have their mind made, see, they talk about when you're addicted.
Mhm.
Everybody that's close to you, they could want you to get the help. But unless
Mhm.
or until you want to get that help yourself, where you have your mind made up that enough is enough, and you've hit that place that they call rock
Yeah.
bottom, Toussaint, it don't matter who come up to you and say, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. Will you do that for me? Will you, get some help? It doesn't matter, Toussaint. If they don't have their mind
No.
made up that they're going to do it or they want to do it, man, you're spitting into the wind, bro.
The thing about it is that AA don't help you
Yeah,
if you don't want to be helped.
yeah, absolutely.
You can get right out of rehab and go right back to where you come from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you could have stayed in there for years, go to every meeting. I had a friend that he was a lifetime member of Alcohol Anonymous
Mm-hmm.
because he got a disability check
Mm. Wow.
because he had proved that it was an illness.
Mm-hmm.
And it crippled.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get his check, he had to make sure that when he got to AA meeting, he was drunk.
Wow. Wow.
So he would go to the meeting, do the 12 steps. Is it 12 steps?
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
12
ain't never
steps.
been.
Yeah, 12 steps. Mm-hmm.
I was that person wasn't going either.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Matter of fact, let's throw this out here for free. When I would get my little, we wouldn't do no blunts, but I wasn't gonna share with you.
Mm-hmm. You're stingy.
No.
You're stingy.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew I was harming myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had a feeling that I was, because I stayed in the traffic circle for 30 minutes.
Mm.
That's what made me realize. Wait a minute.
You stayed in
I've been in this circle for a while.
Wow.
Got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Steady puffing.
Wow.
And got stuck in the traffic circle. And that's how addiction is, right? That's what it's all. That's just me. I ain't too bright, but I ain't stupid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like going in the traffic circle, and you just, for some reason, you thought that you could just pass right on through it and go on about your merry way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it, but
Yeah.
that's what kept me away from like cocaine because everybody think that it ain't gonna happen to me.
Yep. Exactly. They think they're gonna do it just that one time, and that's gonna be it. In 10 years, and pass them
Yeah,
by, and
and
they're
it's still in
addicted.
that traffic circle.
Yep. That's and that's one of the things that and I love sharing this story, man, that happened to Uncle Charlie from the Gap Band. He tells the story about how he got caught up with them drugs, man. He got caught up so bad with them drugs, man, and he and his sister, one of his sister was doing it, and she got off of it, and she went to rehab and got better. Saw him one day in the street, he was walking around, and she looked at him and broke her heart. How bad he looked, broke her heart, she said. And well, he was actually telling the story. And so, she begged him to get help, and he said, "Ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm good." She went and she got a mirror, and she put the mirror in his face and let him have the face what he looked like right now, who he was. And that's the only thing that broke him, because from his story, he hadn't been in front of a mirror in years. There was no need. So he didn't know what he looked like. But when she put that mirror in his face and he remembered what he looked like, and that mirror showed who he was, that broke him. And he said, he went to rehab, and when he went to rehab and stuff like that, say he got better. And actually, one of the young ladies that was in rehab, one of the doctors, nurses, whatever it was, he actually ended up marrying her. Yeah, and now they have a life together. Wow. Go ahead, Zamari. I see you over there, sis. Go ahead.
That's like the sweetest story I've ever heard. That's so sweet. I love it. But
And now
I
he's
mean, but what she did for him got him to that point where it completely changed his life, and then he was able to live that happily ever after. That was so sweet. I love
I love
that.
it. Hey, just saw what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do, man? What we're gonna do? We know, she, she said, "Oh my goodness." What we gonna do, man? As men, we gotta be tough, man. We gotta keep our thing going. Tucson, what we gonna do when she do that, man? How do we handle that?
You crying?
Huh? You say is she crying?
So you know what though, Raheem? Maybe perhaps what we need to do is I know we need to keep ourselves in the mirror, but every time we feel like people walking around with the feeling that they deserve respect, and you try to say something to them, and they like, who you looking at, or what you talking about? All you gotta do is pull out that mirror.
Tucson, I'm about to go there with you, boy. I'm about to take myself in the corner. I'm gonna be ready to go take this trip with you. What do you do, Tucson?
Go ahead.
This young lady. Now in high school, she was the best thing walking up and down those high school halls.
Lord.
But now, 30, 40 years
You
later,
ain't fine no more, girl. You ain't fine no more.
them days done passed you by.
Let it go. I mean, oh Lord.
Lord, Tucson, where your phone going low? I can't hear you, brother.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I can't be shouting and hollering out. I'm multitasking.
Yeah, exactly.
But, some Coke bottles are 2 liters, the 20 ounce, 16 ounce. Well, I used to have some in our school for, Lord.
They don't change now, Tucson. It's not the same.
I'd be like, boy, I'm glad I didn't tie up with her.
Exactly.
Look, my daddy was right. She was gonna turn out just like her mama. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. No. Toya with a T. Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you doing? Don't cut him off. Let him keep talking.
No, he digging a hole.
Yes, he is. And I got the shovel, baby. What's up?
Ooh, Tucson. Look here. I saved you. You see, I saved you, right? I jumped there just right in time, Tucson. See, even with that big old head, man, I still look out for you, brother. I still look out for you. But, huh? Can't hear you, Tucson. Tucson.
Said,
Okay.
hello, Toya. Good morning.
Hello, Tucson. Good morning, chocolate drop.
Toya, we asking a question. We asking. Oh, go ahead, Tucson. He ain't done.
Zeke,
Go ahead.
good morning.
Oh, and I thought he was saying something else. His phone is going up and down, so I can barely hear him sometimes. But Toya, we're talking about respect, and why is it that some people expect you to give them more respect than what they give themselves? They totally disrespect themselves, but they look at you. Oh, you're gonna put some respect on my name. You're gonna respect my name. Why? You're not respecting yourself. Talk to me, Toya.
Yeah, we special like that.
Mm-hmm.
We some special individuals like that. And again, I think that's a learning thing, because in households they always teach you to respect someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they come to you calling you out your name, you're never gonna be nothing. You're this, you're that. It kind of works hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're used to being put down, you're used to being this, but at the same time, for the 12 years, not only are you being told to respect other people, you being put down yourself. So it only makes sense to be 20 years in and feel like you can put yourself down, but don't put other people down. Respect other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, what we do. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that'll take the blame. They say it's me, oh, I'm stupid, you know what I'm saying? Or, oh, I'm ugly. And I'm like, well, but then if I said you want to get mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, then don't say it to yourself. Don't say it out loud. Like, how you going to wake up against yourself?
Mm-hmm. Come
like
on.
The world is already against you, period. People going to be against you. Issues going to come. But then you're going to wake up against yourself and talk about what you can't do and what you can't be and what you ain't going to get away first, or get away from me. First and foremost. Get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even need all that negative energy, because when I start spiraling down, I don't want you sucking me down with you. I need somebody that's going to pull me up.
Mm-hmm.
But then not only that, you have to be real careful, because those kind of people, that's a self-esteem issue. And sometimes they'll go all kind of places and do all kind of things, even terrible things. To be trying to fit in, to be trying to be liked, to be trying to call themselves be a part of something. But I mean, I think that's, again, like I said, that's something that we learn, and I think it's a subconscious learning when you are talked down to at home, but yet still you told to respect the teacher, respect the cop, respect everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes second nature.
Good deal. Let me change up for a second. Anybody have anything else they want to say? Because I see. Okay, let me ask you this. And Tucson, we ready to talk to the ladies. Tucson, are you ready? I need your back on this, man. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
No, Tucson hesitating. Let me go to Zamari first. Zamari, let me ask you this question.
Well, wait a minute, man. Why you do me like that?
What's that?
You said something, and then you said, "Oh, let me go to Tucson." Then you said, "Well, let me."
No. I want to make sure you got my back on this, because we're going to go to the women.
Yeah, I got you back. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
I'm good.
My man. That's all I needed to hear. Zamari, why is it? And what is it? And this is a man asking a woman, a man asking a woman a question. Now, why is it that some women will submit? Because it's been said that every heterosexual woman has submitted to some man throughout her life, has submitted in some kind of, to some man. So why is it that they will submit to one but not the other?
Depends on the caliber of man, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And in some situations, it comes down to abuse, I would think, and that control. And so sometimes I think if women are lucky enough to get out of those controlling circumstances and they find their own power, then they don't want to submit again, because they're afraid maybe of losing that power through submitting, even in a healthy way.
Is submitting relinquishing that power?
To some women, it does seem like that.
Mm.
And especially,
Wow.
like I said, especially if you're coming up out of abusive situations, whether it's an abusive home life,
Mhm.
going from childhood into adulthood, or an abusive marriage or an abusive relationship, it can definitely seem that way. And
Mhm.
because I mean, most of us here have been in abusive circumstances, whether as a
Mhm.
child or as an adult in a relationship. So a lot of I'm not gonna say a lot, but
Mhm.
oftentimes we do have problems with that word submission, submitting
Mhm.
to a man, because we're not taught what that means in a healthy aspect.
Mhm. Wow.
We
Wow.
we think it's this, they have all of the control and power and we have none.
Mhm.
But I submit to my husband daily,
Mhm.
daily, but it's in a healthy way.
Yeah.
It's not in this way where he's got his foot on my neck, you know? It's
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
So it just has to be taught how to do it in a healthy context.
Okay. I know in Columbia, South Carolina, when I first moved to Columbia, I was dealing with this young lady there, and everybody, I just moved there. I lived in West Columbia, and everybody said that she's a firecracker. She's this and she's that. Like you ain't gonna be able to deal with that one, man. But we had, I think we was together about two and a half years, something like that. And we even the breakup wasn't bad. If I go to Columbia now and I see her, we're gonna have a good conversation. We're gonna enjoy each other's company. It's certainly nothing that we used to do is gonna happen now because I'm married, she is too. But we respect each other. And people just ask me, man, how did you get her to, and I told them, I said, I didn't. I just treated her like she wanted to be treated. And she in turn she treated me the way I want to be treated. We had conversations, we talked about different things, and I heard, and I told her, I heard what people say about you. Why you like that? What's really going on? And she had this situation where ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. Ain't nobody gonna boss me. Ain't nobody gonna boss me. She had been through a relationship where she was with this overbearing person, and she didn't want to be in that type of relationship anymore. I told her, well, I'm not here to boss you at all. You're your own boss. And we just and the more we dealt with each other, the more we hung out with each other, the more the relationship grew. She realized, I'm not here to, nah, man. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what to do. You're a grown woman. But Toya, why is it that a woman would submit? I don't even want to use the word submit.
Good, don't.
Yeah.
I only submit applications for work.
But why is it that some women would allow a man to take the leadership and not allow another person to do the same thing? There she go.
So I switched it up on it here, y'all. I don't like it, but I'm gonna rock with it for a little while.
It's nice though. It's nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So the question was, why do they sub? So again, I think this is a teaching factor. So submission is a surrendering, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to kind of give that power over to someone.
Yes.
And it's a
Yes.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
sometimes it's a choice.
For the most part, it's going to be a choice.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part,
right?
Because whatever you do is a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't do something, it's because I chose not to submit or give in to whatever it is you're doing. So for the most part, submission will be a choice. But what I'm getting ready to say is, however, if it's this learning technique,
mm-hmm.
like how we were talking about when the parents put you down, but you give everybody else respect, but then on yourself, I think it's kind of the same way.
Mm-hmm.
When you come from a household. So I was raised by my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something inside of me where I'm a system bucker.
Mm-hmm.
If something don't sound right, don't fit right, I'm not going to go with it. I don't care who you are. It could be my daddy. If it ain't right, I'm just going to get that beaten or take whatever consequences that it is. Because I choose not to give into that. And I think when it comes to submission, again, with most women, that's what it comes to. A lot of us women submit because we want a man. We got this story where, even though it's in there that we are, I think it's natural. But we got this thing where we think we should. And a lot of us submit to jerks, pieces of doo-doo, crap.
Wow.
Because it's a man, because we don't know how to differentiate who deserves the respect to be submitted to and who don't.
Mhm.
But oh, they're a man. Oh yeah, they can be a bum and a jerk and whatever, and I'm still gonna submit to them. Nope, I'm gonna set you on fire in your bed while you sleep, sir.
Wow. Wow. Tucson
Because you a
sleep.
piece of crap.
Tucson sleep with one eye open, brother. Sleep with
Don't
one eye
sleep
open.
with Tucson. I don't think
Why you telling me to sleep?
falls in that
You
category.
know,
I don't think Tucson falls in that category. But there's some doodle turds out there that
Yeah.
do. I promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
A
Exactly.
lot of us women, again, we submit because we want to, right? Like
Mhm.
me, I'm learning. God teaching me. Hey, listen, you a little bit too bold. You need to pipe that down.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing it for a long time. So when a real one come, you know you need to shut up sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know you don't know everything all the time, right? You know it's okay not to have a comeback.
I know the obvious answer to this question because that person is not God. I know that that's the obvious answer, but God said that to you. But
Right.
if the man that you're dealing with called to now, Tori, you just need to shut up sometime, man. God
Yeah.
Almighty.
You
How would that
probably
be
right,
received?
but I'm not. And you probably right, and I'm not. And I'm not. And again,
Yeah.
even with that, it
Mhm.
depends on your position, what you've done. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
with me, it don't matter what your position is.
Yeah.
That's your feelings, and you're welcome to them.
Mhm.
Because 9 times out of 10, a man who wants to control you will say the same thing. And
Mhm.
when you come to me saying that I need to be quiet, I know you got a control issue. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be in my lane. I'm gonna be on the right path. Who the
Mhm.
heck? I'm sorry.
Hey.
Who are you
Mm-hmm.
to tell somebody, another grown individual,
Mhm.
that they need to be quiet? So for me, that's an eye raiser too, because I don't care what come out your mouth. I ain't gonna never tell you to be quiet, sir. You can be talking, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
sideways and not right. I'm not gonna tell you to be quiet. I will have a conversation with you about what you said and my point of view, but I'm not gonna tell you to stop talking. So that for me is a major whistleblower. Even if you can't respect my personality, I already know you're not the one for me to be submitting to.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, Toya, is it? And I'm gonna go to Tucson because I definitely go to hear what he got to say about this one. But is it based on? Is a lot of it based on the delivery? If instead of him saying, "Man, look here, you talk too much, why don't you just shut up sometime?" Or he say, "Hey, baby, let me speak to you for a second. We had a conversation the other day, and do you think that maybe we could have dealt with it this way, or could you have listened to me just a little bit more? Because I was trying to make a point. And you really didn't listen to the point that I was trying to make. Is it okay for us to talk about that right now? If we,
Well, yeah, you can
if
say that on the same day. You ain't
Mhm.
gotta wait 2 or 3 days to say
Yeah,
that.
hmm
And that delivery is not telling me to be quiet.
yeah,
What you're telling
exactly.
me is that we need to healthily communicate. And
hmm
again, those are two totally different things. Being able to
hmm
tell me to communicate with you effectively, and then just telling me to shut up like I'm a kid. Two
hmm
different things.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So it just take us back to Zamar. This take us back to the disrespect thing. Is it disrespectful that a man will come to you and say, "Look here, you just talking to shut up, and got it," or listen, yeah, I want to have a talk with you. We had a talk earlier, got a little sideways. I apologize because of the fact that I maybe came off the wrong way or I presented myself in a way that wasn't delivered well by you. I apologize to you. Could we revisit that? Could we talk about that one more time?
Okay, so you said a man telling
Yes.
his woman to shut up like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all
I
y'all in a
mean,
relationship now. Y'all in a relationship.
okay.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that. Actually, I'm trying to remember if my husband's ever done it like that before. I don't know if he said it quite like that, but there have been, you know, situations where he'd be like, just stop, or this or that or whatever. Like, but it came off in a very disrespectful way where
hmm
it really ticked me off.
hmm
And I get real quiet. And then I'll kind of
hmm
either walk off or something. And then after we're alone, then I'll address it and I'll unload. Right.
mm
And at first he'll obviously be giving his side of it. I'll be giving my side of it. And but now where we are, right, we understand like that's not okay. And now if he happens to say something that's a little off color or maybe comes off a little strong and I get angry like that or annoyed, he'll come at, or he will pursue me is the better term, to
Yeah.
apologize
Mhm.
after.
That's good. That's good.
So he recognizes when I do that, and then he'll kind of reanalyze what he said and be like, oh crap, I shouldn't have said it like that. So, I think what Toya said was really good. It's, you have to learn. It's one of those learning things. Like, you just you have to learn the dynamic of how you want your relationship to work, right? And for me and my husband, we've had 20 years to learn that. You're not going to get into a fresh relationship and learn that right off the rip. You might have your qualities and you know what your standards are and how you want to carry on that relationship. But then you got this other person here and you guys are going to clash sometimes. And so you have to find where that middle ground is for the both of you. And so that you can make that relationship work. So
Exactly.
I would not be okay with somebody just coming at me though and just being like, hey, just shut up. Stop. No, that's, you don't do that. And that, and even if there is something that my husband doesn't, maybe I do need to be quiet. You know what he does now? He'll kind of reach over and he'll grab my hand and he touches my hand or pats my hand in a certain way, or, rubs my arm. Like there's just these silent signs, really, So that's how we do that now. It's always with a pat or a rub or something like that to let the other one know, hey, you should probably stop now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's going in a bad direction. Let's pull back for a second. Let's pull back.
Right.
Tucson, what do you say to that?
You learn the hard way. But I've learned to change it. Here's what I say. You're having this conversation by yourself. What you mean? Well, you're doing all the talking. Just listen. Please, I've learned. Please do not say hush or just be quiet. Because they say, don't do that to me again, because you might do that in public and then I'll have to act up. And that ain't gonna go good.
Wow.
Don't do that. Don't say shut up. You do that to children. You don't even, I didn't that enough. You don't do that to children. You say it's just not a good term. You lose. We talked about respect before. But one thing, Raheem, I know it's not in there. It's in a different context. Talking about the church, how we submit to one another, but it's same way in relationship. You have to. It's a twofold thing.
Yeah.
You submit. We submit. I can wash dishes, right?
Yeah.
And I cook.
Oh yeah, me too. Absolutely.
So do. And if the floor get dirty, I get the vacuum out. So it's a twofold thing. That's about all. I'll leave it like that.
That's good. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. Just happy to see another beautiful day, man. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Rico, we talking about, I asked the ladies a question, and I want to hear your take on this, man. What you think about this? A lot of time women was relinquish certain powers to certain men, but not to other men that they deal with. They picking. It's almost like they're pick and choose by the person who they give that power to. What do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because they have a certain thing that they look for in certain people that they that's what they judge how they respect you from. They might not respect you because of your integrity or your character. They might just respect you because you got a lot of money. Or they might respect you because you big and swole.
Yeah.
You look like, you could bench press 500 pounds and you intimidating and ain't nobody gonna touch you. And sometimes that might put a woman in a situation where she's with this big, strong guy, and now she feel like anywhere she goes, she can act the way she wants to. And if somebody say something to her the wrong way, she can respond out of order. and get all extreme and expect him to always have her back because he's supposed to be unconditionally loyal to his woman. He's supposed to be her knight in shining armor. So whatever she do, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. You know how people do with, oh, that's still my brother, that's still my child.
Yeah, exactly.
But some women feel like, well, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. You my man. And you supposed to ...
Yeah.
But this man might be like, okay, look, yeah, I am 6'5". I do weigh 280. And I do train professionally. But that's a gang over there.
Yeah.
And that woman that you eyeballing, that you keep talking about, I'm smiling and grinning with because she giving me customer service and I'm flirting with, she part of that gang. And she with that. You might need to shut up before you make this worse. You remember that situation Frank said he was in?
Yeah, exactly.
In the mall with the men that was out, but his woman didn't understand. She didn't really scope the scene to understand that these guys were looking for trouble. And they had numbers. They was ready to make somebody a victim. And they happened to be the lucky ones, him and her. And she wanted him to be Superman. Superman ain't real.
Take that beating, basically.
No, she thought he was going to lay down the beating. She didn't know that it was other guys. This was the setup to get him to act out of order so they can make an example out of him. And what did she want him to do? She wanted him to show out. And then what did Chrissy come out here and say? Who, Frank? I would have whooped them. Then I would have whooped you.
Yeah.
What? You might need to shut your face before we end up being on the headline news.
Yeah.
I know this situation. I'm looking at as a man, I done been in these situations before, and those boys acting out of order because they looking to make an example out of somebody. And you look like the biggest fool right now. Shut up before you make things worse. I've seen people get pulled over by the police, and the police didn't mean them no harm. It was all innocent. They were just doing a job of trying to check out the scene. Why you pull me over? You always mess with black folks. I ain't got no dope in the car. They go to hollering and hooping and hollering. Man, I just want to, pull you over to let you know this and that. I seen him give them a prize for not speed.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
But they assume, what you pull me over for? They ready to snap it, ma'am. I was just pulling you over to give you this $100 certificate for going the speed limit. But you already had, you was already worked up and ready to make the situation worse when it really wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
But that it happens, man. That's exactly what happens.
Well, you cuss the police just walk up to the car, you cuss him out. He trying to give you something, but you gonna cuss him out, call him all out, everything. You start. Look, I bet you used to get beat up in school, didn't you? I'm just trying to give you this. As a matter of fact, go ahead on. You only go. Just go ahead on. Don't even worry about it. Just go ahead. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Man, you got to give me more energy than that, Badger. That man,
I'm waiting on my coffee to get done.
Okay, well, I ain't got nothing to do with the coffee, man. We got a broadcast. You got to give me more energy than that, man. Let's do this again. Good morning, Badger. How you doing this morning?
Morning.
Lord Jesus. We talking about how some women would relinquish powers to certain men, but not to other men. How do you think they pick and choose which one they're going to relinquish that power to?
What do you mean relinquish power?
Let the man take the lead. Let the man be the head in the relationship.
Man, that's like, I mean, I don't know why they would do that.
Why they would let the man be the man in the relationship? You don't know why?
I mean, a man shouldn't have to worry about that. It's a 100-100 relationship. You work together. One's not in charge.
Badger, you're changing the whole topic, brother.
Asking me a question like that ain't gonna work. So you might as well go on to the next person.
Okay. You don't think that the man should be the head in a relationship?
Most of the time, no.
Wow. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Tucson? to, so I must have stepped away for a minute. Zamar, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
What? No. Okay. A man was made to lead. They were made and created to lead. Women generally, typically, physically, we are the weaker of the two sexes. Okay. Normally, look, my husband is 6'3", 200 plus pounds. Okay. I cannot imagine me walking into a room and controlling him, leading him.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point, because I'm just this little bitty 5'4" person. Okay. I'm not very big.
Mm-hmm.
But even if I were, okay, let's just say I were, even if I were larger, it is still his job to lead. What direction is our family supposed to go? Lead me, guide me, take control of our household. Because most of the time, if a woman is in control of the household is in chaos. And the woman is going to overpower the man. It's just a mess overall. It is a mess. Women want a strong man.
Mm-hmm.
They want someone that they can sit back and go, I don't have to worry about anything. You're taking care of this. You're doing this, X, Y, and Z. Man. And see, I've got that, right? I don't have to worry about nothing. My husband takes the lead. And again, it's like I said earlier, it's about the caliber of the man. No, like, look, when we say submit, that word submit, and this is what I was saying earlier, Raheem, we get that word so confused about what the actual terminology, what the meaning behind it is. I'm not relinquishing who I am.
Exactly.
I'm not relinquishing my power.
Yep.
I'm not relinquishing my voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a level of respect where you're letting him take the lead. You have those discussions, right? Whether it's about finances or what you want to do with the kids, whatever. But you're not relinquishing anything. It's a level of respect that you have. And sometimes after you have that discussion, you have to just sit back and go, baby, you know what? I trust you. Do what you think is best. And you know what? In my relationship, my husband has not led us astray. He's done the very best for us every single time and made the very best choices for us every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Be your own person. Have that voice as a female, a strong female if you are. But sometimes you got to learn how to sit back and just let your man lead.
Wow. And that's very interesting that and I know Badger he's spoken that verbiage quite often, that the woman should lead and different things like that. But like it's been said in the chat here, Toya, I think that's kind of off-centered a little bit. I think that's a little off-centered. What do you say to that, Toya?
Which part is off-centered? Which part you saying?
When they say that the man should not lead, that the woman should lead, that the man should not lead.
No. Oh no. Listen, you're talking to a strong woman here. Oh no. That is not the original design. That is not the design of life when it comes to us being created. Now, again, I take my instructions from God, right? And it was broken down in multiple Bibles and multiple religions that all wound up meaning and saying the same thing, is that the man is the leader of the household and the woman is the partner, the mate, the helpmate that accommodates him in every other way, period. Because you better not be out there leading. And I get it, but then at the same time, no. We do lead in certain arenas and certain things. But just like the comment was made, the lion protects, not the lioness. That's what the lion is supposed to do. She take the food, she feed the cat, she do this, that, and third. But a lion is the king of the jungle, not the lioness.
Yeah.
So again, if you want to forfeit and surrender your power to your wife, well, then that so be it. I am a woman. That 9 times out of 10, the power does get forfeited to me. Like when Z was talking about, she's a little thing. Listen, I'm a little thing that I will make some 200-pound men shake. For real, for real. And I use that power. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I know the correct order. You understand what I'm saying? So, no, it's not a factor of a matter that the woman leads. The woman has a position. That's why we are created the way that we are. That's why we are allowed to carry babies and such, because there's just certain things that we cannot accomplish or we cannot do, and we are not designed for, which is why we are the mate to the
Mhm.
leader. You understand what I'm saying? So now, if we want to do like everything else and defy the odds of who you are as a man, and a man wants to go be a woman, this is where all this is going in the line to. When we don't know our natural order, this is why men right now are trying to be women.
Mhm.
This is why women right now are walking around looking like men with their pants hanging down. And I had to tell this grown woman the other day, pull your pants up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
at work.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because again, we don't understand the original order, and then when we do get the original order, we want to change it and then blame it on religion and all this other stuff. Well, that's what this
Yep.
said, and that's what that said. No, we are built on a specific axis in this universe.
Mhm.
In the same way the stars are aligned and the planets are where they are, is the same way that the man is the household, and y'all are designed to do a certain thing, and the lady is, and one can't be the other. So I don't feel like a woman should be a leader, even though I understand in 2023, and even me myself, a lot of us are. But I tell you what, it's only because a lot of men don't know their role, and the job gotta get done.
Mhm. Exactly. About 3 weeks ago, my wife and I was about maybe about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we was in the bed, we were asleep, and something happened downstairs. We heard a noise downstairs. Boom. I said,
She's
"Whoa."
supposed to go down there and check it out because she the lead, not you. You
Yeah,
better, boy, you better sit down. This my job.
yeah, exactly. And so, I got about it. I said, "Baby, did you hear that?" She said, "Yeah, what was it?" I said, stay right here." I said, "Stay right here, lock that
I'm coming
door.
right behind
I'm
you.
going downstairs. I'm gonna see what that is." I said, "You stay in here, you lock that door." She said, "Lock." I said, "Lock the door. I'll be back. I'll be back." I went downstairs and looked around. It was really nothing, something had fallen over. But I walked through the whole house, and then when I did, I walked through all the floors just to see, what was going on. And I went back to bed. I said, "It was nothing, baby. This is what happened. This fell off." And she felt more comfortable, going to sleep. But my thing was, you know, like Toya said, was I to tell her to, baby, go check that out, see what that was? I'm so comfortable. The bed is so warm. I don't feel like moving. Go on down there and check that out, baby. See what that is. Come back and let me know. What do you say to that, Badger?
Said, sorry.
Say it again,
Yeah, what was that last part?
Badger. Hold on, I'm gonna come back. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I feel like Toya and Zamara. I mean, I know what Badger stands with that. I mean, and I still feel like the man has a role.
Mhm.
It's been proven through science. Now, there is no denying that in this process of being male dominant and testosterone and alpha, there is some toxicity that has happened over time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There has been males that came around and they came up with rules and laws that really was chauvinistic, that really it made the feminist movement necessary. It made women's suffrage movement necessary because those same barbaric men only wanted to look out for the best interests of white males. Something came over them over time that made them forget the concept of society and family and humanity. It made them. It put them on this superior mindset. So now, sometimes we can confuse dominant with superior
Mhm.
because in some cases women will be more superior. They will be more dominant. If I ain't mistaken, I think science proved that women were smarter and matured quicker than boys.
Yeah, they do.
Females did.
Mhm.
that might make them a little bit more intellectual at an earlier age, or more willing to learn the intellectual things quicker. They may be dominant in that. That may be where you want them to lead when it comes to communication, if they have those communication skills. Because if they don't know how to communicate, and they want to go off on them men or go off on them police, then that's the wrong woman you need communicating. But for the most part, that estrogen in a woman is what really makes a woman be able to reason and put more emotion into it and thought into it. So she will lead when it comes to nurturing, thinking about, you know what I'm saying, just compromising. There's going to be some things that you would say, you know what, I want her opinion on that, because she has more of a peaceful or more loving mindset or whatever. I'm thinking from this physical mode.
I just want to turn some tables over. That's all I want to do. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. You know, but I think in a lot of cases, some men don't want to turn over tables and chairs, so they're willing to say, you know, I want to be the one that falls back. Now, maybe if that's what they're feeling, but maybe they will say, well, wait a minute. It's a way to explain this. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a balance. There has to be a balance in that leadership. That's the thing about it. But to just automatically say through science that it's proven that when you start talking about being dominant or superior or leading, then we might need to clarify what we're talking about. We're being led in.
Rico,
how the leadership is being used.
Would I have been off base had I told my wife, man, I'm warm in this bed, man. You know, go on down there and check, see what that is. Come on back and let me know. Man, look here. Boy, look at that. Boy, look at I kick myself thinking from foolishness like that, man. I kick myself. You go down there, baby. Go ahead on down there and see what they did. I'm comfortable in the covers and don't want to move and get your behind about that bed.
When I go, you going too out the door.
I met this woman one time, man, and when she invited me to her house, I got the address, man. I went, and it was in a place I was like, yeah, I don't like this, but I still tried to be nice. You know what I'm saying? I sat back and I bought food for everybody, bought the food over there, man, and messed around and happened to walk and peek around the kitchen. And man, she had them little buddies. She had rats and roaches, and they weren't scared of nighttime. They would run around all through the sink, on the stove, and everything. It didn't matter if it was daylight or not. And I was like, Master, what's going on? And she said, get it. I said, I'm scared. Man, she looked at me. I knew then it was over. Little did she know it was over anyway when I seen what she had going on. So I wasn't finna be hero. I'm trying to get up out of there anyway. I don't see this ain't my lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm scared. Exactly. I'm gonna be a weak man for you. I'm gonna be scared.
And Rico, look at
anything she wants to. I wanted her to dismiss me. He ain't a man. You right. I ain't a man for this.
And look, and I don't even care if you talk about me. I don't care. Talk about me as much as you want to. Good. Keep talking. But wow. But let me go to Tucson. Then we'll go back to Badger. Let them listen for a few minutes. That's what we're talking about. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Is who should be the leader, man? Should the man be the leader in a relationship, or should the woman be the leader?
I want to see how this conversation gonna turn out. The one that's capable of leading. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't know if that's unfortunately. I can't say that. In a society we live in, there's some that are not capable of leading because they don't know how to follow. Sometimes I got to follow my wife's lead. Especially when it comes to take care of bills and stuff. I like to spend money. When I see it, if I got it in my pocket,
it's gone.
I feel like I got to get it.
That money gone.
Gone.
Got a hole in your pocket.
But her, on the other hand, she thinks through the month when it's due.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, before it's due, at the end of the month, she tries to say, okay, after everything's done, by the 15th, we're heading towards looking at what we have left, not what we owe anybody. me, I'm a super juggler. Money, I juggle money all over the place. Like,
Mhm.
okay, my mind be going like this. A financial disaster. So what I have to do, if I want to survive a little better, is let her lead
Mhm.
that. But I bet you believe one thing, I'm gonna have a say in it.
If there's a bump in the night, Tucson, you gonna tell her to go down there and see what that is?
No, you better not. Where you going?
Mhm.
And I ain't got to worry about that because she locked doors in a locked house.
Mhm. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, what? Why you locked that door?
Mhm.
Now we locked in.
Yeah. Mhm.
But we not like some people. We new to this thing. So
Mhm.
me and her just used to being by myself.
Mhm.
I'd be by myself. She used to be being by herself in the house. So I'm
Mhm.
still at the point where she hears something, and I ain't worried about that. If he come in or whoever come in, I got something for him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
come on in here.
You push him right back out that door with it. Push him right back out that
So
door.
will.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, she ain't got no business going to check and see what's going on. What
Mhm.
the heck is it? Oh, let me know how it turned out.
Exactly. Exactly.
What?
Tucson.
But I'm just saying right here. Sometimes, um, unfortunately, there are people. I didn't say man or woman, but I said people that feel like they just good followers
Mhm.
because
Wow.
they're not leaders.
Mhm. Wow. Wow.
Unfortunately, even in the household.
Mm. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Asking the question, um, relinquishing the power. Or who has the power in the household? Who should be the lead? Should it be the man? Should it be the woman? Should it be a combination of the two? Or if there's a decision that has to be made, who make that final decision? Who
You
should
know,
be in a
right?
position or a situation or a position where they make that final decision? Yes, sir.
You know, I was thinking, man. You know, sometimes I guess we have to make people get people to realize that we speaking on the most ideal terms
Yes.
in general. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because I do have to admit, you know, I have seen situations where that needed to be a Sophia and a Harpo.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't because it needed to be that way, but Harpo was who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And for Harpo to actually be able to accomplish anything in life that a man should have, he needed Oprah. He needed Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
He needed that woman that would come around and put her foot down and not cower when that man come around because you black and you ain't supposed to be doing this. She didn't, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a time and a place for that.
Yeah.
But some men need that. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen a 110-pound man with a 300-pound woman?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she ain't shorter than him. She taller than him too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that those are situations where I have seen women be the dominant force, the authority, the protector. But
Mm-hmm.
that man still might get out there and provide. He might be a good worker. He might
Mm-hmm.
be the biggest pushover on at the job. He might be the butt of the joke at the job when they come to other men and his wife can't stand it. He don't stand up for himself. That make me sick to see my husband let them men just run over him like that and use him and work him to death. And he just, every time they say come in and go to work, he come to work for him. But then when it's time for him to take a day off, they don't never come and look out for him.
Mm-hmm.
I say
Mm-hmm.
something to him, put that phone down.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you ain't going in tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You finna stay here with these kids. But baby.
But baby, you know what they said now. You know they're gonna make me do lose my job now. Yeah.
You know, so you know that there is a situation because that type of man exists.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow.
I don't want to call him
is he a weak man?
Jezebels, but
Is he a weak man? Is he a weak male?
He's it was another word I was thinking of a second ago, but I can't remember what it is. But I'm gonna say passive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Might be a passive. I don't even want to call him submissive, but he might be a very passive male.
Mm-hmm.
And a very passive male can meet a woman that's sort of domineering that will love him enough to the point to where not she won't misuse him, but she'll marry him to make sure nobody else misuses this good man.
Wow. And Toya said confrontational.
It could be
Non-confrontational.
it, passive, non-confrontational. Yep,
exactly.
definitely.
Good deal. Badger, talk to me, brother. That bump in the night in his 50-50 relationship, should she have the right to go down there, man, and check, and see what's going on and come back and let you know?
Well, that's the thing about 50-50. My job is to provide and protect. She's just gonna wake me up and tell me to go look.
But see, back to what you said. Now you said that the woman should be the. Explain that to me. Help me understand, because maybe the way I received it was not right. What do you mean when you say she should be the head of the household?
To me, I am the provider and the protector. She decides what the food, the emotional well-being of the household. We share the responsibilities of cleaning the house. So we don't approach life as one person is in charge. We share it. But you
said she should. But when I asked you the question, you say she should be the head of the household. That's the part I'm talking about. I understand responsibilities. What you're talking about right now is responsibilities and different things. But I asked you about being the head of the household, and I think you can correct me if I'm wrong now, but I think you said that the woman should be the head of the household. I mean, did I receive that wrong?
I guess to me, the version of head of household is what is your exact definition of head of household?
Being the person, like I said earlier, that's actually
the final say so.
The final say so, having that final say so.
The representative, the face, the spokesperson, the one that you go to when somebody else comes and say, I need to address this family, you need to talk to this man.
She said, go talk to my husband.
In my household, that depends on who it is asking that.
See, you're dancing, brother, but that's okay.
No, you're asking me. So I am telling you.
We asking a specific question for a specific answer, but you're not doing that, man. You throwing all the other elements.
Because I don't have the specific answer that you want.
No, it has nothing to do with what I want, man. I'm just asking you to answer my question. So who is
head
the
of household?
Who is the head of the household?
My wife has final say at our house.
Okay. So she's the head of the household.
I am matriarch.
Okay.
Not patriarch, matriarch.
So she's the head of the household, basically.
Yeah, she has final say.
Okay. Zamari, what's on your heart? We got another call. We're going to go to the call as well. Zamari, what's on your heart, sis?
I've
never seen you this. I've never seen you like this. Now, come on now. Let's talk.
All right. Let me look. Okay. Look, I was with a weak man and I ran him. I ran him. I did what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it, and you couldn't tell me nothing. You know why? Because I found out he was a weak man and I could run his stuff. I ain't got no respect for a man that cannot take control of that wild side of me and tell me, hey, it's time for you to sit down. I will run me a weak man, and most women will. When we find out we can take advantage of you, oh, it's over for you. You're going to lose any power you thought you had. It's done. So I cannot be with somebody who does not want to be that leader and that head of house. Now we sit down and we have our discussions, like I said, right? It's still, we're both still giving it our all. He comes to me, asks my opinion on things, like I said, and we'll work it out. And sometimes, yes, sometimes, depending on circumstances, sometimes the woman does take the lead. But overall, my husband is the head of our house. And I would have it no other way. No other way.
Let me ask you this. If does it make a difference? And I think I know the answer to this question already. But does it make a difference if you bought the house and you met him and he moved in with you? Does that make a difference of who's running the household? Because technically it's your house.
No, that makes no difference to me.
Okay, I just want to put that out there because
No.
some people think along those lines. Well, it's my house. No, it ain't nothing to do with
No,
who house
because the
it is.
moment that even if the house were in my name and he moved in with me, the moment that we're married, it's ours.
Yeah.
End of story.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Good deal. Toya with a T, what's on your heart? Then we're gonna go to the caller. We got another call on the line. We're gonna go to the caller after you, Toya with a T. What's on your heart, sis?
I mean, yeah, well, we get to actually choose what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us, that's what I said. I've been a leader in some relationships because the job still got to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find yourself with somebody who can't do the job, I don't think there's no need to stay in with them if you're not going to do it. It's been a lot of relationships I've been in, and I remember telling my parents, I don't want to be the head. That's not how this is supposed to go.
Yep. Come on.
And I'm a strong, fierce little thing. Let me tell you something. I still run high, jump fast. I still do all of that. And I need one to be able to keep up with me. If you think that I'm not going to just submit to somebody who's going to lead me into a wall, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, let's just be for real. Some people are made for each other. I'm an aggressive woman, what they would call aggressive. I'm aggressive in some ways with life, but I'm not aggressive sexually like most women are. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in life, we use that in our position as women to get men and use them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just put in the chat, a real man's gonna call it out. Let's talk about the difference, because we got men and we got real men. You got men and you got thorough men. And it's the same way with women. You got women and you got real women. Because women can go around and just have babies and not take care of their kids, but that's not a real woman.
Mm-hmm.
Women can go around and manipulate and use men. That's not a real woman. Just like a man is gonna have to be a real man. And just because I'm laid back, don't mean you run nothing, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I still make sure that the bills are taken care of, or half the bills, however you want to do it, because 9 times out of 10, a man understands you want to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
So I understand you want to pay your half of the bills. I understand you want to be independent. But when it comes to you thinking you getting out of pocket, and the level and the tone in which you're going to talk to me, let me go ahead and hop on screen for this one. And the level in which you think you're going to respect me and talk to me and communicate with me and what you do, you don't run anything. I allow you to be a woman. I allow you to be my mate.
Mm-hmm.
And a real man going to understand is in being a leader, I mean, that don't mean you control and dictate everything someone else does. That is not what a leader is. I just got a master's degree in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It does not mean you make all the decisions and no one else gets to make a decision. As a matter of fact, what they teach you as a leader, they teach you to include others.
Yep.
They teach you to lead by example. That means if there's something that there's an expectation you want done or a standard, you live by it. You walk by it yourself and others will follow. It means a certain level of standard you maintain and upkeep, and you don't tolerate nothing less. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So let's stop playing around in our 30s and 40s and act like we don't know what submission and leadership is, and like it's all about having zombies walking around here doing what you want them to do. We're talking about, as a man, you make sure your household is taken care of, and you know, yeah, you can act like you run it and turn the neck all you want to, lady, but if I tell you to pipe down, best believe you're going to pipe down.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You understand me? And it doesn't have to be something that's boisterous all the time. It is a fact and a matter, and it's something that is hidden in a man that, you know, as a human, I'm gonna let you rock and do your thing, but hey, when the jig's up, and he's gonna be forceful about it. If you're doing anything other than that, if you pity-pattying around, going with what the woman say because you scared she gonna cut you off, she's scared, oh, you ain't got no place to go, oh my gosh, you're not a real man. You just a man.
Come on.
Because
that's
you
good.
can't even express yourself and call out things that's wrong because you're not holding your own self down, and vice versa. As a woman, if you're not holding yourself down when things get funky and you got to move and pitter patter, oh, I can't say nothing to him, oh, because I'm going to get put out, or I'm going to get beat, or I'm going to get something, that's a big problem. You don't need to be in that situation, and you need to be leading and governing yourself now, let alone forfeiting it to someone else. So it's levels to this right here, and we need to finally start talking like, adults when it comes to true leadership and how that really goes. And we all know that the man is meant to be the leader from, a natural state. And if not, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be out of order like we are now.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, man, I'm doing fine, Brother Raheem. How you doing in my beautiful, beautiful Morning Glow family? How's everybody?
Hey, everybody's doing good. Doing good. Good to have you, brother. We're talking about leadership. Who should be the head of the household? It's been said on both sides that the man should be the head of the household, and on the other side it says that the woman should be the head of the household. Ask a question: if there's a bump in the middle of the night, am I supposed to lay in that bed and say, "Look here, baby, I'm comfortable in these covers. These covers are real comfortable. I'm warm right here. Won't you go on down there and see what that is?" Man, I kick myself if I said some foolishness like that. But I want to hear from you, brother. Who should be the head of the household? The man or the woman?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think we dealt with this in so many other ways in conversation on this show. And I think it's very clear from the last time that I thought is that the women on this show, and I heard Sister T, and I mean, Sister T, listen, I can see the name of your book. What you see is what you get. I can't wait to get a copy of that book.
Exactly.
But there's no question every woman that's a real woman in her life. When my sister said that, the nature of a woman is to find a strong man. That's her search. That's her search in life. That's her search. And she will test a man, and if he don't meet the grade, she break that stick, throw it in another wood pile, and go searching for the real man.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Quran says Allah created the woman to be a help meet, M-E-E-T, not mate, meet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of strange. What is the woman to meet? Well, the very nature of the woman is to help the man meet. Look here now. His God-given requirement. That's her job.
Mm-hmm.
Her job is to help me meet my goal to become what God created me to become, and that is to be the head. Now, no woman on this line is going to submit herself to an abusive head.
Absolutely.
She just ain't do it. She just ain't going to do it.
No.
But I thank God for our women because they have to have the patience of Job. And sometimes you may see a little weakness in the man, but you don't throw him away altogether. You help strengthen him in that area that he's weak.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst thing a woman could do is to tear down a man's growing buddinghood.
Mm-hmm.
So to tear down his little manhood, he's trying to be a man, and she just cut him up with her mouth like a razor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's patient and recognize that, I can work with him. He's a little short in this area. But if she keeps giving him the responsibility, eventually he's going to step to the responsibility.
Yeah.
But no woman wants a weak man. She wants a man to be in charge. She wants the man to take control of the steering wheel. That's her nature. It gives her certain comfort and peace to know, man, my man got this. I thank God, man, and I can say, Raheem, that I was always like this.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give credit to the Nation of Islam that I joined the nation at 18, and I was trained.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I trained the brothers, Raheem, this is what I say to the soldiers. I said, brothers, a woman should never, ever control your dedication to God.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman control your dedication to God, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got nothing else, man. But if a woman love a man, because of his love for God. Now she got something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a man should be. That's the way it is. You know, they did a little thing the other day on Instagram. And the sister said, in our womb, we have an egg. It does not have the power to produce life. It has to wait.
Mm-hmm.
The egg has to wait for life to come. And who brings the life? The man, the sperm. Here comes the life. In the sperm is the egg, both chromosomes. In the sperm, there's life. So they mentioned that it's supposed to be the man who's supposed to be it. Now, I'm not with no fool, and I'm not with no man taking advantage of a woman, because that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I like what every woman said, when a man falls short, hey man, she got to do what she got to do, and she gonna pick up the slack. Trust me, she gonna pick up the slack.
Exactly.
Thank you, women,
mm-hmm.
for being patient with our foolish self. We may not be what we should be, sisters, but thank God we're not what we used to be. And wait a minute, God's not finished with us yet. I hope that we will make you proud of us down the road, but we got a whole lot of work to do. And let me say this to the brothers, man, it's a real man on this show.
Mm-hmm.
There's a real man on this show, and I'm honored to be a part of this great brotherhood. I have great admiration for every one of these brothers on this show, because to be a real man, sister, and to see us open up, that's what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was my cue.
No,
Thank
somebody called in. I guess they wanna have some fun today on this. Man, I don't know. You know, somebody ain't got nothing to do. Somebody ain't got something to do. Toussaint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I speak?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Well, at the end of the day, I need somebody to help me be me,
mm-hmm.
and to be complete in my life with a woman. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
To provide and protect that which God hopefully we hope that which God give you. Because if God didn't give it to you, I don't care who leading. Y'all both gonna be running around like chickens with your head cut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is a fit in everybody's, should be a fit in everybody's life. Now, I'll spit it out here right now. I think that mine make more money than me.
Mm-hmm.
I think she does when it really comes out, because I got a lot of stuff going on because I had a long life in my little years.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet you believe when they say you reap what you sow, you definitely do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't care who make the most money.
Mm-hmm.
It does not make a difference.
Exactly.
When rubber meets the road, nothing should happen without both of us. I must carefully say that. Without both of us having had a discussion about it. It better not, because we're going to have problems.
Exactly.
To
Absolutely.
Me,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not being demanding. I'm trying to work with you in every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to. You can do what you want to, if you want to. But best believe you, I'm gonna have something to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's
and
good.
If it goes sideways, I'm sure gonna have something, and I'm not gonna be. Well, you shouldn't know. No, that's not how I'm gonna operate.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, this is how this gonna turn out. Now you go ahead, buy all the dresses, shoes, and go out with the girls if you want to. If you want to. But at the end of the day, let me tell you how this gonna work.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lean over. I'm not being demanding. I'm just telling you that as a protector and a provider, I'm trying to protect what's ours. We don't, matter of fact, let me throw this out here for free. Your children might not even be my children. But I bet you believe one thing. I'm going to do what I think that's best for all of us.
Yeah. Exactly. Good
They're
deal.
not going to come in here and say, this my mama, and this is, wait a minute, hold up now. We're going to stop right where we are. Because we're going to have this discussion, because Raheem, I know I'm going around this because I'd like strong women.
Yeah.
You know, not the type of strong that run your mouth too much. That's not the type of strong that I'm talking about. Because some people think that some women. Don't make me go in the corner.
Oh Lord, he about to do
it. They be strong, but you don't know how to shut up. I didn't say shut up. I said you didn't know how to shut up. And what I do is let you have a conversation by yourself till you're willing to listen. And I let you go ahead and talk. And then I say, you've been having this conversation by yourself. I said, oh, you got it done, right?
Exactly.
Since you're saying you must have it. Let me know how it works out.
There you go.
Because it's a team effort. And really, nobody's really in charge. But I tell you one thing, I'm the head of the household. I don't care. It does not make a difference.
If there's a decision that has to be made, you're gonna make that final decision.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. If I have a wise decision. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even if that wise decision is okay, what you think?
And see the way my wife and I we talk about everything. We sit down, we talk about it, we discuss it. And if we can't come to a conclusion, I say, baby, look, we're gonna do it like this right here. This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it like this. And that's what we're gonna do. And it's not like I'm telling her, because we had a whole discussion and we couldn't, we go back and forth a little bit and try to weigh it out. Baby, listen, we're gonna do it like this right here. We're gonna try it like this right here, and we'll see how that work out. And if for whatever reason it don't work out, I made a bad decision. It didn't work out the way I thought it was gonna work out. Let's try the way you said. Let's see how that work out. And if it works out, then fine, baby, you did good. Thank you, I appreciate that. But Rico, it's all about communication.
It definitely is. I mean, and I think what happened is, man, is over time, people start confusing being a leader with being a dictator.
Yeah.
And even in some households where women lead, they don't understand the difference between being a good leader and being a dictator. So they even show it and do it through their children. Go bring me this baby bottle. Bring me them Pampers. Go back in that room. Wash them dishes. Y'all clean up this house. Wait on me hand and foot. Get that baby down before they fall while I'm recording it.
Yeah.
Get her down. That's what people's idea of being a leader is being a king, a dictator, sometimes a tyrant, But I go back to that Harpo and Sophia thing. It's gonna be some men out there. We know there's a lot of men out here that's 5 foot tall. They might not be but 150 pounds, man. They might be the size of a toothpick. But they're men.
Yeah.
This is a lot of teenagers. You seen Cat Williams get whooped by that little boy in the park that day?
Yep, sure did.
The other kid had him out there strung up like that, man.
Tore his behind up.
Cat, a little bitty dude.
Yeah.
he might have to have him a woman that could whoop something. He might need him a big woman.
Mm-hmm. But see, Tank ain't no big dude, but Tank will knock you out though.
See, he a professional boxer.
Yeah,
See, that's what the difference is. See, you know, every situation is custom fit for that person, you know, to have to deal with, and they have to go about it the right way. But you know, I go back to just the existence of mankind, period. You know, if you go back to the days of Neanderthal, if you want to, I'm pretty sure before that was really order, rule, or structure, that a lot of very smart women had to rely on some very brute alpha males to protect them. So they wouldn't be violated or just taken advantage of, because there was no order, and men just went rampant and did what they wanted to do. So they would probably choose the man that they felt like, you know what, I might have to deal with a little bull, but at least this man will keep the rest of the men from doing this and that to me. And I can protect my children. I can hold my resources. Matter of fact, he might get my resources, but at least I can deal with him and maybe get some of those resources, and we can work together. Depends on where his heart is. You know, so I think, you know, just the natural order of knowing that a male is supposed to be the protector, the alpha, the dominant. I mean, they do it in rat studies. They show you what that alpha dominant male does. They always gonna ride to the top and lead the community. And if you break it down, that's what happens with the household. You still got to have that situation. But I would say that if there was a point where I was this brute, alpha, tough male, all I did was work, and I didn't have no compassion and no sensitivity about myself. But then I had a brainiac professor for a wife. And it was time for us to sit down and talk with our sons, administrators at his school, our daughters, administrators, about some education. I'm gonna fall back. Well, Mr. Jackson, what you want to do? You think you want to sign them up for this class? You know, we need some. I think I'm gonna let y'all deal with her on that, and I'll side with whatever she goes along with.
Raheem, what y'all gonna do?
That you need to submit and that you need to be passing. So I mean, you know, it's really all about discernment, man, and really and truly just basing it on the situation at hand before you actually decide. Which, don't get me wrong, is still probably up to that man to decide that he wants to submit and let the wife be the voice. Because if we ain't careful, that man can go back to caveman days when he get home and say, "You disrespected me. You talked when you should have talked. Shut up." And that's the reason why feminism and domestic violence laws exist, from that behavior of men dominating women. You know, it wasn't really made. I mean, men utilize the domestic violence law, but really that was put in place to protect women. Because over our existence, women have been the submissive in the relationship or in society, and men have been the dominant.
Wow, good deal. And it's like in that situation that you created, Rico, in the school system, if she's more equipped to that, Raheem, what do you think, Mr. Osborne, what do you think you should do? What she said? What she said, man. What you talking to me for, man? My wife right there. Talk to her, man.
Talk to my wife.
Hey,
talk to my wife.
Hop in real quick.
What's your question, Badger?
What y'all describing right now? Is that what y'all are meaning about being head of household?
Having the wisdom to understand where where your strengths are and where your strengths are not, and a good head of household know where his and I'm saying his know what his strengths are. And like I said, we go into a meeting and she's an educator. My wife, we go to an education meeting, and my wife, I know she's an educator. Man, what I'm talking for? What I'm gonna talk for? What am I gonna say? She's an educator. She's been doing the thing for 26 years. What am I gonna say that she don't know? Man, she'll throw my little comment like it ain't nothing, man.
Hey, imagine your wife being an attorney, and then all of a sudden your husband comes to the job to watch you work and be like, "Well, wait a minute, I'm the man of this house, and I say that man needs to be out of jail."
Exactly. But go ahead, man.
Well, I'm realizing that this whole time we're saying the same thing, but the word usage is so different. It's causing a clash. That's pretty much how our household runs. Is we share the responsibility of head, or at least in my definition of head, making the final decisions and stuff. Because in an emotional standpoint or a social standpoint, my wife's got way more tactics than I do. I'm an extremely blunt human being, and most people don't like blunt. So, in the way that this, based on what y'all just described,
excuse me,
that's something that we can like be on the same page about. It's just the word usage of, I guess in my brain, head of household is kind of like what Rico was explaining earlier, is like the predominant one that's, you know, has say so over pretty much everything. But what y'all just based in my logic brain is the sharing of the decision. So I don't separate head of household from the separation of making choices.
Okay.
I hope I'm making myself clear. I don't know.
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. Okay. Good deal. Zamari?
I think Toya probably has something on her heart to say.
I saw the look. I saw the look on Toya's face. That's why I said I'm not gonna let that simmer down a little bit before I go to her. I saw the look on her face. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love Rico's explanation though. Everything that he laid out, because that is exactly what it is, right? Overall, that's exactly what it is. And so I really don't have, honestly, I don't have anything else to add to that. It's just, I am the matriarch. He is the patriarch. And yes, like y'all said, there are certain things you might take a back seat to because she has more wisdom about or knows how to take the lead on that, right? But that's where the give and take is. That's where the balance is. But still, at the end of the day, my husband is the head of our house.
Yeah.
Period.
If there's a decision that has to be made, if you two can't agree on that decision or come, you know, to like minds on that decision, he's gonna make it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, would there be any pushback? Okay, that's good. You said you're okay with that. That's good. That's good. Toy, you want to talk to me, sis?
So even, you know, when we talk as women, men choose who they want to listen to. Because your wife be done said the same thing and you will not listen to it. Your mama be done said the same thing and you won't listen to it. And you'll pick another person that just said the same exact thing. And you will hear them before you heard the person that just said it. Again, that's a choice. We call that selective hearing. That's a choice, just like anything else. And I'm going to go back to the beginning. If the man as a leader understands that he don't call all the shots, he understands about being fair. He understands about that. But a man also knows if he's not the head of his household, that he going to say so. I don't run nothing. My wife run everything because I'm a F up.
Wow.
You understand me? I'm going to drink all my money up, like Donald just said earlier. I'm not going to be responsible. So therefore, the woman has to be the lead because, again, we both not going to be in a garbage can. But now we need to talk about different relationships, different levels of relationships. And if you're in a relationship and you're cool, what I'm saying is the average person is not cool with the woman being the head of household. We got stories that's going on for years. Kings and queens. And who runs what? I mean, so all of the kings weren't abusive to all of their wives. All of their wives did coach them and counsel them before they went out as the leader of this great nation. We're not talking about who has the capability. We're talking about the science and the order of it.
Yes.
And the science and the order was built and meant and created for the man to be the head and the leader. And because along the way, we humans have lost things. Men are not being taught right. Men are being raised by mamas who are taking advantage of them and making them weak.
Come on.
So when you come up against a woman who was raised by a man who taught me both sides of the fence, I'm going to naturally be stronger than him in a lot of ways because of how we've lost our order along the way as humanity. It doesn't interfere with my attraction. But it does acknowledge the fact that as a woman, I'm the stronger of the two, and a man needs to acknowledge that if that's the case. So, for instance, if I'm this big old superstar as a female, and a man, a real man that doesn't make as much money as me, when he gets into a relationship, he's not going to be intimidated. And if I begin to get out of pocket, he's not going to be scared to check me. And this is what we're talking about with leadership skills. If you're the man of your household, that means you have control over you and your family. You have ownership over them. And in having that control and ownership, it don't mean you make them jump on one foot like a dog just because you can. It means I promise to love you, protect you like a parent would. You understand me? And nothing's going to happen to you. I'm not going to allow you to make a wrong decision or embarrass yourself or me.
Yes, exactly.
You understand?
Come on.
Parents are going. When I came and I got you from that parent house, it's us right now. And we're going to have a standing on his family name. When we go into confrontation, you're going to be behind me. And there's things that come with that. And I can understand how a man don't feel like he's going to be the lead if she making more money than him. I get it. But you are still forfeiting your manhood over to her. You ain't nobody taking it from you. You refuse to take charge and be a man.
Come on.
So therefore, you look for a woman that's going to be more assertive and more aggressive now because you soft and squishy. I hate to have to say it, right? Because she can get up and get on a bus and go and travel in the rain, but you can't, right? You don't even understand the concept on what it is to be a true provider, because true providers maintain all of the responsibility for the most part. You understand what I'm saying? Even if it's two of them, even if y'all both working, there's still one that maintains and receives and assumes a majority of the responsibility of what happens, what goes down, how it goes down. And they have some kind of, I hate to have to use this word, but that's what I can come up with now, some kind of power. So where if a person is going down the wrong path, they have enough power to say, hey, don't do that. Enough influence to get them on the right page on whatever leadership direction they're going to. You know what I'm saying? So again, the only reason why in 2023 women have leadership roles is because men were not taught to be men. Some have been abused. And we don't understand how to actually be that leader and be that role. So therefore, again, like I said earlier, the reason why I was thrusted into it, because I'm the woman and somebody has to do it. So I can't be mad at that, because if you're a woman and you feel like you cool with making all that money, and because he make less money than me, I'm going to take care of him. But you still can't be disrespectful at the mouth, talking and yelling, you know what I'm saying? And being this, you know what I'm saying? Because you feeling all aggressive. Like Rico said earlier, most men say, hey, you don't listen to me. And now here you, the woman, talking about, hey, didn't I tell you to do this because I make more money? Pow. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't require that either. You can still be the man in the head of your household, regardless of how much money y'all make. So this is not about like actual actions. It's really about like just assuming your position in your role like a parent to a child. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's tricky, but at the same time, it still was built and meant and created for men to be the lead, the head, the lead, and women to be the partner and the follower and the mate to them. Period.
It's tricky to rock around this way. I got sidetracked there for a second.
It's tricky.
Exactly. We're gonna go in this order here. We're gonna go Willa, Captain, then we're gonna go Toussaint, then we're gonna circle our way around, and Leonard. We're gonna go Leonard as well. So let me do this right here. Willa!
Ryan, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What's going on? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. I got some new earpieces. I'm trying out because I had the kids in the car.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I don't want them to hear the conversation.
Exactly. That's
good.
But
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
You know, I am doing awesome.
Now, who's the head?
Thank God for waking me up this morning.
Absolutely. Now, who's the head of the household? And if there's a bump in the middle of the night, should you expect your husband to go down there and check on it, or Could he say that, look, I'm comfortable in this bed. Why don't you go down there and see what's going on down there, Willa?
Come on now. First of all, you know, when it comes to that in the household, the man should be the one to go down and check up on it. But he will not be going totally by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I am also getting up out the bed, not right there with them, because we don't know what we're going into. I'll be tagged behind them just in case I need to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be smart in that area. I just want to say that.
So Willa,
as far as me and being, go ahead, Raheem.
So Willa, you gonna have that heat in your hand? You gonna have some heat in your hand?
Now, I don't know about all of that, but I just know that, you know, and we don't know what we're going into.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be smart with our actions and then how we react to whatever we're going into line.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we're thinking together.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because you can't be right there with him. That's all I got to say. But men should be the head of their household, regardless whether they are good in one area or not. And I'm going to tell you like this, because the woman is your helpmate. Check this out. Even though he might be weak in the area and she covers that, women are so smart at it that their men still feel like the head of the household and won't even know that they're not running it.
Wow.
I'm just talking about a virtuous woman, because she lets him know that he's the man. She lets him know around others that they are one in together in their decisions and whatever, because really it's nobody else's business but theirs.
Yes.
And if people really understood what marriage was all about, we'll have a less divorce rate. We would. Yeah. Because we'll be more together than we will be separated. And I'm telling you, Toya, and I didn't even hear Rico, but I know Rico set it in place. So I can't even piggyback on all what they said. But I'm just keeping it real, Raheem. I mean, we as women, we have a lot to do, especially when you got little children.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And especially now, who am I going to trust to watch my children? I still got to work. This economy is bad. We need to be living in the right place. I mean, there's so many things under that umbrella. But if we're together, there's nothing going to divide us.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
Plus, you have to have God. God has to be the head of your household. And that's what's on my heart right here.
Good deal. Cap, as men, or some of us, I say us, you know, keeping it open, out of line, out of order, or out of position?
Well, let me preface this. You know, I listen to the brilliance of everybody on this line, and I be thinking, man, if they wrote a book, I got the name of the book, and so I don't want to leave Rico out the mix. I got the name of your book, Rico. It should say Rico, straight with no chaser. And I think that's the beauty of everyone on here. You know, we just come real, and we bring a balance to which the question that you asked. I just believe, as my sister Willa said, you know, she's a God-fearing woman. And when I listen to her, she's the kind of woman, in my humble opinion, that her whole purpose is to help you meet your requirement with God. And if you go straight as her husband or as her man, she, the woman, would say, well, I don't think God would be pleased with that, Jasper. You know, woman, you always criticize me, but I think, no, I mean, you could do what you want. You're a grown man. And knowing he gonna do what she said, but she allows, and women like her on this line allow us to have some room to make a mistake. Y'all give us some room to not to destroy, you know, our little budding ego. How many of you women been with your man or husband and he's lost? And his pride won't allow him to ask for direction, even though you know he's lost. You sit there and then eventually you get tired to, may I say something? Yeah, woman, what? you passed this tree 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
10 times. What, all right, well, why don't you take it? Now he's ready to turn the wheel over the aisle. The beauty is, it's no question, Brother Raheem. It takes a balance. And I like the balance that this team brings.
Yes.
I think, Badger, sometimes you make a situation more complicated than what it is. It's really not complicated, but you made it very clear sometimes how you think. And based upon sometimes how you process things, you process it a little different. But it's just very simple. It's very simple. And I think that we are coming to an understanding, Brother Raheem, where there's no question. It takes two.
Yeah.
It takes.
Yeah.
I love my wife. I can't even tell you how many times where she has to say to me, I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
She knows I'm a dominant dude. I'm Captain D. You know, and every now and then she has to say to me, I ain't one of your soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to tell me that all the time. I ain't one of your soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you what women have a problem with this word. They have a problem with this word. You know, obedience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be obedient, woman. See, women have a problem with that word. Because when women hear the word obedient, it's like being a dog obedient. It's being obedient. So we have to learn a new choice of words where we have to begin to say, you know, I'm going to be the man, I'm going to be the man. Because when it comes time that there was bills being paid, I can't sit there and say, baby, you didn't pay it. I thought you paid it.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one thing that I take great pride in, right? And that's the ability to be wise enough to know when to speak and be wise to know when not to speak.
Exactly.
If you got women that's very experienced as doctors, lawyers, or whatever, we be a fool. Like Rico said, you in the room, she's a lawyer. And she happened to let you be in the room, and then she go to say something, and then you butt in. And then she says, you know, honey, I got, hey, woman, who you talking to? Why are you talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
No, wait a minute, you can decide yourself right now.
Talk to me like that in front of these folks. Talk to me like that in front of these folks. What's wrong with you, mama? In front of these folks, you know. She said, excuse me for my husband. Oh, now you're going to apologize in front of the right man for me? Woman, let's get up out of here. Lord,
but the bottom line is, man, this is a beautiful, beautiful. I think every woman, every man, he has to really, if he's going to be a wise man, I heard Sister T said, a real man. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something, Raheem. Me and you could sit here and say, I could say, man, Raheem, you the man, baby. Raheem, good. Rico, you the man. You know, man, Leonard, you the man. But you know what? It ain't till a woman say it that it has real meaning. Mm-hmm. You understand? Mm-hmm. It's when a woman says, you know what? Yeah, that Raheem, that's a real man. Mm-hmm. That Rico, see, when a woman say it has more substance because she knows what a real man is. Mm-hmm. We can assign ourselves to be this and that, but boy, it ain't what a woman say.
Yeah.
And let me share this. I'm gonna drop the line. My mother and father used to argue and fight. I grew up in a home where that seemed, I thought that was the norm. I thought everybody household, mother and father just tear up some stuff. But what would send my father off? Listen to this. The thing that would really make my father become a dentist and start going into my mama's mouth, working on her teeth, is when she would say, she ain't that, she would say, you're not a real man. She would say that. But she would have the nerve to say who a real man is. Mm. And Lord have mercy, my mama said, you ain't no real man. And he's looking at her all crazy. Then all of a sudden, you know who a real man? So-and-so's a real man. Oh, that was that.
That rattled that chain. Oh, that rattled that chain.
So there we go. That's what's on my heart.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. We're going to go in this order right here. We're going to go Toussaint, Leonard, and then we're going to go to Rico. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I thought about a freak of nature.
Oh, Lord.
And, You know what a freak of nature has?
What's that?
2 heads.
Yeah.
2 heads. Somebody the body has 1 head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the body has one brain.
Behave.
Thank you, Talia.
You heard, right?
See what I mean? You need somebody somewhere to keep you in line. It happened just now. See what Talia did?
Yes, you did. But
see how that happens.
But see, now I got to see where the wisdom gonna kick in and see, are you gonna listen? Because sometimes we don't listen, man.
Well, I let that alone.
Okay.
I said 1 brain, 1 thinking cap. Everything, no matter who makes the decision in the household, in just me, for instance. I believe Kathy, you like that. I believe Leonard's like that. I don't care who makes the decision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm responsible for it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say, well, it was your decision. That's why we in this predicament. No.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it. We should have. And if we didn't, you know, let me say this. We can go all the way back to the garden experience, and you know, some people don't hold that too much at value. But it's still Adam's fault, right? Tell me when I'm lying.
Come on.
Tell me what. You hear what I'm saying?
I heard.
You can say whatever you want. You say whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
It never was. The instructions never was given to Eve about nothing. And I know that he made them. I understand that. But he said to Adam, when the rubber met the road, he said, Adam, where are you?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Who told you you were naked? Who did that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you eat of the tree?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? He didn't say nothing. He didn't even say nothing to Eve about that situation. And I know we got some strong women. Love them. I love them. I don't want no weak woman crying all the time. You ain't nothing but
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
No, I don't. I mean, you fall apart about everything, and you want to make the decision. And when it is, well, you shouldn't have done. No, I shouldn't have. No, I shouldn't have. You're doing all of this. You keep on. I've been watching, observing, and sometimes you got to lead and watch and observe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes you had a bump ahead. You go right ahead. Let's see how that works out for you. Go right ahead.
Did you say let a bump ahead?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, because sometimes they won't listen.
Are you saying women are hard-headed?
Unfortunately. Huh? Say it again.
Are you saying women are hard-headed? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Let me go to the next point. Don't you answer that. Don't you answer that.
Why you
don't
well, you ain't gonna get no better. It ain't gonna get no better because you're going to Leonard.
Yeah, I'm going to Leonard right now. I know, but don't you answer that. Don't you answer that. Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Leonard, there's a bump in the middle of the night. You and your wife and the family, y'all in the house. There's a bump in the middle of the night. You in the bed. You so comfortable. You so comfortable. The pillow is just the way you want it. You comfortable, man. You warm, man. You know you land in a beautiful and great comfort. You roll over and say, "Hey, baby, why don't you go on down there and check and see what that bump, what that noise was downstairs?" Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Well, first of all, I would never do that.
Exactly.
It wouldn't even occur to me to do that. You know, because I'm not wired that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's really a joke, actually. that a woman would get up before the man would. I think that's a joke, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's just talked about to be laughed about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't think that was a real thing.
I hope it isn't. I hope it is not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think so
Mm-hmm.
because I rarely hear of it. My friends are not like that.
Exactly.
So I didn't. It's not that big of a deal
Mm-hmm.
for most men to get up and handle that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And you talking about it's so comfortable. I will get up, go out there, shoot you, and go lay right back down.
In that same comfortable spot.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I'm gonna sleep better now, knowing you ain't gonna be making noise no more to keep me awake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now,
so it ain't. I think that was just said in jest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the beginning, and it became a ongoing joke.
Mm-hmm. Now, that
a man couldn't get up. I didn't think that was a real deal. Now, some of you women can correct me if y'all have been with men like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know any.
I hope once they found out that he was like that she went with him long. But who's the head of the household? Leonard, who's the head of the household, brother? Who in the household, in the structure of the household that is a household? Who do you determine to be the head?
I'm the head of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak about.
Yeah. Go ahead. Stay right there. Right there. Go ahead.
If however your house is being ran, that's your business, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the nosy guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the guy that got to be in your business. You don't have to do it my way. If it works for you, it's great. I mean, because it's working for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes people mess themselves up when they keep looking at what's going on next door instead of worried about what is at their house.
Yep. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother. Zamar, come to you next.
Yeah, I say whoever the breadwinner is, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really probably depends on who the breadwinner is. You know, the most important piece to that structure, or the most important goal of that structure. And if the most important goal of this family is to make sure that we are surviving based off of income, and this woman is the major income, or maybe the only income, the only logical person that is providing for this family, she might need to be the one to make all the decisions and be the leader, because he ain't got what it takes to get out there and work. I mean, you know, now maybe he is working, but he just isn't as educated as her. Mm-hmm. And that might be where the difference comes in at.
What if he's in a situation where he has some priors and he can't, and he, you know, he's a man, but he has some priors, has some bad decisions, and because of his record, you know, felonies and stuff like that, he can't go out there and get the job that he know that he could perform and do because of his priors. Does that disqualify him as being a head?
No, you see, that would once again come down to the fact of that woman breadwinner being understandable, mm-hmm. and you know what I'm saying, reasonable, and saying, well, okay, I know what the situation is. Mm-hmm. He is more than qualified to lead a household. He just has this baggage. That's holding him back. Mm-hmm. So she knows what's holding him back. Either she can hold that over his head and say, well, you can't even make no money. Mm-hmm. You ain't got no say so. Now she manipulating the situation. Mm-hmm. She knows that he's more than capable, but he has this rap sheet that's mm-hmm. keeping him from doing it. You know, so I really think, man, it's just a matter of the situation, you know, but at the same time, too, we do have to be careful, because we, you know, like we were saying earlier, this modern woman does not like that word obey and submit. Mm-hmm. Man, it's like a punch in the face to them. You might as well just slap them and cheat on them right there in front of them. Obey mm-hmm. and submit. They ain't trying to hear that. But at the same time, these same women aren't the ones that I would feel validated in by calling me a real man. You know, and I ain't trying to counter what Captain D said, but in some situations, it really doesn't matter what another man or woman will say, because when we were younger, we had guys telling us that we were real men, and we went out here and fought 3 guys and didn't run when we were outnumbered. Mm-hmm. Oh, you ain't no man if you don't stand your ground. No, I'm a fool if I stand here and think I'm fixing to whoop 5 people. Yeah, exactly. Oh, don't no man turn down no trim. You don't turn down no woman, man. A woman mm-hmm. offer it to you. I got standards.
Yeah.
But when you're young, they told you you're supposed to sow your oats. You turn it down. You ain't no man if you don't do this. I remember my dad told me one time I wasn't no man if I didn't eat no peppers.
Wow.
Well, see, I guarantee you, I ain't gonna eat this pepper, and I ain't gonna put on no dress and grow no breasts. I ain't gonna eat this pepper.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. You get what I'm saying? I got a baby mama right now that has her mother made the comment to me one day that you're not a real man. Patrice stabbed Dre and she didn't even call the police, but as soon as she do something to you, you call the police. Don't no man call the police on no woman. That since then she done ran over another baby daddy. Hit him with a car. That woman told me I was not a real man because I didn't keep my mouth shut and let this woman abuse me and hold her accountable for being abusive.
Wow.
So I mean, you know, sometimes these women telling what real men should do. You know what? I had another woman tell me that I wasn't a real man because my standard to not accept promiscuous women meant that I was insecure. And real men don't worry about how many men a woman has been with. You alive. You alive. You think I ain't got to have no sting. You alive. You think I'm just supposed to stick my sting in any woman and then ignore the fact that she got a whole football team. League. That she been bragging about 2,000 people. You got more notches on your belt than I got. I ain't supposed to look at you aside. Oh no, why you worried about that? You can't stand up. You can't feel the shoes of the previous man. You ain't a real man. You insecure.
I got my own shoes. I don't need to feel nobody else. I got my own shoes.
Right. So I mean, you know, we really have to, you know, really look at the point of the leadership, what goal is trying to be accomplished, and then at the same time understand that in any situation, whether it's even if you're playing football or basketball, you got a quarterback. You got plenty of players on the team, but you still got that quarterback that's the key piece. You see what happened in San Francisco last week without that quarterback?
Exactly. It's terrible.
They needed that leader. You know what I'm saying? And depending on what you need leadership in, that determines whether or not a man needs to be involved. Because when it comes to abortion rights, men might not need to be the leadership.
Exactly. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. I'm gonna go to Zamari, and then I think we have Friday with us as well. Zamari, what's on your heart, sis?
I think I'm actually good. There's not really much else I think I can add to this. We know what the order of the household should be. You know, like we have okay, so we have a couple that we know. They actually just a couple of years ago came over here from Germany. She's like some kind of engineer. She works. Her husband stays home and looks after the house, looks after their son. But at the end of the day, he's still the head of the house. She's making the money and she's doing that. But at the end of the day, he's still the man. So we need to make sure we don't get that mixed up with just because she's making more money doesn't mean that you're not the man. Because even my own husband, he's told me, he's like, I don't care if you make more money than me. If you get a job and you're making bank, go for it, baby. I'll stay home and do what I need to do here. But I still know who the head of my house is. I may be the head of the house in terms of making that money, but he's still the man.
Yeah. That's good. Friday, good morning. How you doing this morning?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing this morning? What I know I know you've been listening in for a minute, sis. What's on your heart?
Well, what's on my heart is I would want and would hope that other women would want a man that is comfortable being a man and encourage and support that man in areas in which maybe he has not had to facilitate before, either by absence of seeing it done for himself in his household or because now it's his first household, right? So if you have that, don't use it to tear them down, right? Because in my opinion, in my experience, I've learned in different facets of life that it's easy to tear down. That's not what makes you a leader, right?
Mhm.
People think, I'm a leader and I can tear you down and do this. And it's not. It's not about the tear down. It's about the ability to build up.
Mhm.
And that, to me, in my opinion, what defines a leader. Because you can observe that individual. Yes, correction is needed. Yes, their feelings may be hurt, but your intent isn't to tear them down, right? It's to help them see what's necessary and give and support them. If yourself know how, then to build them up, right?
Mhm.
And so there's a way to do that where you're not emasculating or belittling on that individual, but particularly with dealing with men. So it is very important, I believe, that coming into a situation, and speaking for myself, my husband came from a household that was ran by a woman because the father was not present for various reasons. And I came from a household where my mother and father were both in the household, and my dad was a very strong-handed person. So although he never, in my vision, physically hit my mom, he was very strong in his tone in talking with her. So I had to identify for myself when I came into a relation with my husband and we established our household. I had my precepts about how I'm not going to be talked to and I'm not going to do this and that and the third, right? But I had to identify what I was bringing from my environment and what I wanted to establish for my environment. And I knew that I wanted him to feel comfortable being in charge, right? And so being in charge may not necessarily mean that he makes every single decision, but I will honor and value his input, and that will be what the last say so is. So I should be able to communicate with him in a way that gives him the information that I have so that he can make a good decision with what he knows already. And sometimes what I think I may know, he might be like, no, that ain't going to happen regardless. And I may pout. So to the point of your original question about if there's a bump in the night and him getting up, whatever, he's going to do his best to make sure we're not in a space where that's a common occurrence. But if it happens, he's probably going to get up. Even if I hear it first, I'm going to wake him up and be like, I heard something. We might both sit there for a minute, see if we hear it again. You know, and if the dog barks, then he knows, okay, we might need to make some changes. And, you know, and that may mean, you know, it may not even be go see what it is. It may be, hey, where's the rest of the family? You know, so, but it's very important to ensure that at all possible that man feels he has a place, because otherwise that's going to start working on his psyche, and there's going to be other things that start falling apart if he doesn't feel he has that place.
That's good. That's good. Now, Toya, Toya, you with us? Toya?
Yeah, I'm here.
I love what she just said, and how much of a responsibility is it for the woman to make sure that the man have that security of knowing that he's running the household, that he's in charge, and she put him in that position. How important is it that the woman do that?
No, that's very important. I mean, that's kind of what you do when you say your vows, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop talking without talking. I mean, it's very important because, again, it's a twofold situation. How important is it that the leader lets you know that your input is valued, and I'm not just here to bark out decisions, right? Because, like I said, it's something that you willingly do, right? The man normally knows his woman, and the woman normally knows his man, and they normally know what make each other tick. And when you decide to create a real union, we're talking about being real. We're not talking about putting this the way we want to, because this is coming from a woman that is normally the head. I've encountered a couple of broke jokers who thought they were gonna try to use that power, but now that don't work on me. That don't work on me, and you broke just because you aggressive. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's very important that the woman, and I think the woman shows that, and sometimes again the men don't identify that. And it's the same thing with the women. We have to be taught that. Again, I was taught by my father, you know what I'm saying? And he broke it down a real way. Some ways he was like, listen, I'm your father and I don't even want to think about it, but I got to be real with you, because if I don't tell you, there's no way for you to learn. So I kind of learned both sides of the field. I know I got to be gentle with them. I know I got to, you know what I'm saying, get in a whole different position in a girlfriend way than how we are right now on the show. You know what I'm saying? And with that, a real man and a leader knows how to read that. He knows a woman can't beat him, but he don't want no problems with his woman. You understand what I'm saying? Nah, I can't do that because I'm gonna have an issue at home. It's not about I'm the man, I'm the husband, I'm gonna do what I want to do. No, it's not about that. Because you're also not trying to be a tyrant. You understand what I'm saying? And disrupt your home. You respect your wife.
Come on.
You love your wife.
Yeah, come on.
And even though I am here to make sure I provide and protect and do all that, I'm not gonna go around here ruffling feathers. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm on a power trip. I don't want to disrespect her. I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I know that these things are an issue. So not only does it take, a large responsibility on both parties as well as the woman, but we need to know what we're really talking about here. And being the leader and the head of your household is not about, like y'all said earlier, being a dictator. It's about being there with welcome hands and understanding this is still a team.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. Let's keep this thing going. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Then we're going to go Willa and Cassandra. Oh, and Tucson after that. Tucson had his hand up.
I think my big thing, and something that Rico said in the chat, is word usage. I mean, to me, two people making decisions based on the situation is a shared role of being the leader of the home. To me, and my understanding of those words and definitions of those words. So I honestly feel most of us are saying the same thing, but when it comes to me, my understanding of the words y'all are using is tripping me up and giving me a different impression than what y'all actually mean. So I'm having to sit here and think real hard of what y'all are actually saying. Because the way y'all are describing what a leader should be, and then also taking in consideration someone else and things like that, my word usage is shared. So it's boiling down to just word usage.
Okay. Good deal. Willow!
Raheem, you know what? It is so funny. A lot of times when we're talking on the line, something has already happened prior to that week, sometimes on what we're talking about. So tomorrow I have to teach a lesson. I have another prayer line before this. We're talking about the women in the Bible. And this one particular woman that I chose, her name is Abigail. You'll find it in 1 Samuel 25. Her husband Nabal was a king. He was foolish, like some men are foolish. They don't want to listen to things that keep the family safe, them safe. They just think that they're the ruler over everybody, or they're Superman. I don't know. They just put themselves in harm's way a lot of times, and they don't realize that they need to look at the big picture. Because if you are the protector and you do something foolish, now you're gone, who gonna protect me?
Yeah.
So this guy here was protected by David. David was the king. His whole household was protected. And then what happened when David left, he had asked Nabal's household to just give them food for along the way. Well, he told David he wasn't giving them squat diddly, in my own words. He wasn't giving them nothing. So David said, go back to Nabal's household and kill everything that pisses against the wall. And you'll find that in the story. Everything that pisses against the wall, I want them dead. Well, his wife Abigail heard of the story. So what she did was, but not knowing to Nabal, she got all food together. She sent it to David, and it saved the household. But what happened along the way, Nabal wound up dying, and then Abigail became David's wife. But I said that to say she covered him.
Mm-hmm.
She covered him even in his foolishness, the leader, as the head of the household. I like what Friday said. She put it plain where anybody can understand it. That was an awesome analogy as women on how we should behave when it comes to our men. Even though we might be stronger in a lot of areas, we still make them feel like they're the man of the house.
Mm-hmm.
We still let them know. And come on, most men already know. I forgot who it was on the last day. I know my wife leaves this house, but I'm still a man. You know what I'm saying, Raheem?
Yes.
And if we did that in our relationships, Raheem, you know how much better our world will be? Oh my God, so much better. Read that story, 1 Samuel 25.
Absolutely.
And that's what's on my heart, Raheem.
Good deal, good deal. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, a woman, and I'm asking you this question, how important is it that she let a man know and understand that he is the head of the household? And if she don't choose to do so, how disruptive could it be for the relationship?
Well, it's essential for her to make sure that he knows that he's the head of the household. I mean, and that can be done in so many ways. And like you said, spiritually, sometimes the women may be further along than the man, but that doesn't negate the fact that he's still considered the head. He's still the head of his household. And as such, she should treat him and allow him to be who he is, be the leader. I don't want, and I know most women, they're not trying to be the head of their households. Most women, most, not all, most. And I wouldn't want the responsibility. I mean, why? Why take it on when it's his position in God, as Christians, that's our belief, that it's his position. So just step back and let him, make the decisions. And you talk about things. I'm not saying you don't discuss things with your mate, but you sort of reason together, and if it comes down, you still not agreeing, and I've said this several times over the years, then you allow him to make that decision. And if it comes out wrong, who does he blame? No one. He can only blame himself. That's just my view.
That's good. That's good. Let me go to Toussaint. Toussaint, you had something on your heart, brother?
No, I had something that I was gonna say, but I found something that everybody knew about the virtuous woman.
Yes.
And I was looking at that, and it says her heart is for of her husband, do safely trust her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the day. Let me tell you something. There are some times when if you can't give your all and know that it's gonna be okay, you got the wrong person.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna give nobody. My daddy told me, he said, "Boy, don't you never put all your eggs in one basket." I see men, they don't trust themselves enough, and they sign their check over. Matter of fact, they got some that they wives, and that's the way you do your household. That's good. Come get their check at the gate.
Good Lord.
And she give him an allowance. Well, here's the thing. That may be all right, but you trust her to manage the household. She gonna do him good and not evil. She ain't gonna squander the money. But see, she's the designator. If she don't do it right, it's not her fault. That's my fault. I can't blame her for even the errors that make, because that's at the end of the day, that's how I see that things need to be done. Take care of the bills.
Yeah.
Some people have 2 different accounts. Some people have 3 accounts. One for me, one for you, and one for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that works for you, good. But just to say I'm the head of the household, and I thought about Papa listened to his daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he come back looking like a mule kicked him in his eye. No such a thing. No such a thing.
All right, Tucson. Let me go to Captain. Captain, and what we got to understand as men, that if we say we're gonna be the head of the household, which quote unquote is our rightful position, we have to understand that there's responsibility. There's a huge responsibility that goes into that. You can't just say that you're the head of the household and just make it a verbal thing. You have to also step up to the responsibilities that goes into that. What do you say to that, Captain?
No question. We have to qualify ourselves to be men of the household. There's a qualification. I think if we were to take and fill out an application, I think one of the requirements is to make sure that we are protectors, maintainers, providers, and sustainers of our home. I think that's a very, very, very big responsibility and requirement. I don't think a woman can give us her all in all. And we fall short of our responsibility. I think some women are very patient with us, but most of the time, you would never have a problem with a woman to be what you expect her to be to you when you are true to the game with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have a harmonious home. If I'm doing my job, then she's doing her job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to my man Tucson. It's almost like in reality, the color purple and dealing with that one particular story was that my man's father was telling him to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be that.
Yeah.
And then he passed it on to his son. And I think that, Rico was making a very good example of listening to the boys in the hood or in the corner, the fellas, and we constantly defining what a man is. And our attitude and definition is way off the mark.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very real. We have a great opportunity as we talk about this to make sure that we're not that dictator, as Rico said. It's not being a dictator. I really thank Almighty God to be able to be balanced, but to have God as your head.
Yes.
As God is the head of man, man is the head of women, women is the head of children. You see, so if everybody play their role, but God has to be the root.
Exactly.
How could I measure what a man is when the only real man is God?
Mm-hmm.
So if I measure myself by the standards that God set before us, what a man is, I can't see how we go wrong. And that's the good thing about having a righteous woman, is when I stray from certain principles that I say I believe in, it is my wife that reminds me. And this is what she say. Well, what did the minister think about what you just did? How did the minister feel about what you just said? You think the minister would talk to his wife that way? What you think? So different standard. And of course, she knows what would get me in line. Because of course, the minister would not tolerate certain aspects or certain decisions I make that ain't got nothing to do with God. This is a personal driven decision. So that's the beautiful thing about being on this Christian station. At the end of the day, every one of us, we make God the standard by which we measure. So I believe that it is the man's moral obligation to protect the women, children, and elderly in the community. And what I mean by that, Raheem, it is his God-given obligation. It ain't got nothing to do with whether you got money, whether you live on the hill or live in the valley, whether you got an education, whether you don't have an education. What did that got to do with God? And I thank you, Sister Willis, for giving us that beautiful story in the Bible. That's the stuff I love. When you can find a part in the scripture and you can apply it to what we're talking about, and it makes sense, even though she covered that man, she covered it. And I think that's what you women have did for us. And I thank you. You know, we do some dumb stuff.
Yes,
God,
sir.
at least me. I can't speak for everybody. But I thank God. And I'm going to tell this one story, Brother Raheem, and this going to make you laugh, to show you when you should listen to your woman. I was invited to the minister's home in Michigan. The minister got a very beautiful farm. That's his real place, because the place they stay in Chicago, that's just a palace. But he got goats, he got sheep. You know, the minister got a very, and I was invited. And so as we were getting ready to come, the brothers of security was escorting us to the minister's home. I had my phone. And I said, I'm going to take it. She said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I said, I don't think that's a good idea. So what did I do, my old stupid self? So when we come into the home to hear the minister with his beautiful self, with that big old pretty Kool-Aid smile, he comes down, he got his jogging outfit on, right? He suited and boots, bow tie, you know. And his hair, you know, his hair was just a little out of line. But this is between us, you know, and I'm sitting there and I snapped a picture. And the minister said, brother, did you just snap the picture of me? I said, yes, sir. He said, brother, I invite you in my home. And I'm not dressed that you would make that picture public. And then you won't ask me my permission. Now my wife looking at me. And she wanted to say, brother minister, I told it dumb. And the minister, brother, my grandchildren came, and you know, I have nice vehicles, and I'm looking out the window. They in front of my vehicles taking pictures and putting it on Instagram. That's a violation of my privacy.
Yeah.
And man, I'm sure I stupid. I already posted it on Facebook. You should have seen me trying to delete it. I was trying to delete that bad boy. Then I deleted it. Then it went all the way up to the minister's son. That what I did, and I got chewed out, and that became a law. Anybody that goes to the home of the minister, you have to leave your phone in the car. Now, that was because of it. So sometimes we need to listen to our mates, man.
Exactly.
And she railed on me all the way back to the hotel. I don't even like to tell the story because it hurts me. So I did something stupid as that. That's what's on my heart, right?
Good deal. Well, we're about to get out of here, man. Anybody got anything on their heart before we close up for today? Rico, you got a fact for a Black History fact?
I could throw one out there real fast. The father of Black History Month, which started out as Black History Week, Carter G. Woodson. I think he was maybe like, I should have been looking this up and reading it from something direct, but I believe he was the second Black person to get a degree from Harvard or something like that. And he actually was the father of Black history. He wanted to actually include Black history in American history studies. And if I'm not mistaken, you might not hear this story too much, but I think I heard at one point in time, the Black college, the HBCU that he actually taught at, and he wanted to introduce this Black history into the American history. This Black college, if I'm not mistaken, was started by a white man. And they pretty much kept him from teaching Black history at an HBCU.
Yeah.
Marinate on that.
Yeah.
Marinate on that. Carter G. Woodson, look him up. Father of Black History Week, which has turned now into Black History Month. And You know, this is another one of the reasons why we should actually pay more attention to where we came from. You know, we shouldn't just leave the past in the past, because there's a lot of lessons in that. You know, if Black history is a part of American history, but it's omitted, and then a Black man educated from a PWI comes to a historical Black university, institute, to try to implement more knowledge of self, and the system says, is it really a historically Black university or institution?
Yep. Exactly. Wow. Anybody else have anything before we get out of here? Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? How's the temperature?
No, I want say it again. Go ahead.
How's the temperature over there in that corner, man? You stay over there a lot, man. What's the temperature like over there?
No, man. You know what? I see. You talking about the household, and we talked about different things. But sometimes it's good to go in the corner because coming out feels so good.
Okay.
You know, Cap. I want a Cap to leave, but every once in a while you pick a fight.
You see, I know where you're going with that, brother. Look at it now, right back over there in the corner, just like that, right back over there. I know exactly where you're going. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
If you missed today's show and would like to hear us see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dklmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Willow!
Raheem, come on, let's go.
Willow, are you ready?
Raheem,
yes.
I am so ready to receive God's word. Come on, Raheem, let's go.
Well, I ain't got one more thing to say, Willow. One more thing I got to say. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on, y'all. Let's go to the throne of grace this morning. We're going to the throne of grace with humble hearts and bow down heads. We're going with confidence, expectation, asking God for all those things that He do to keep us being safe because of our foolish thinking, Lord. Father, we're praying that you tear back those things that keep us from lining up with your will. Father, I'm asking you, Lord, and I'm praying that you continually give us strength to go on in this world, Lord. Father, the enemy shows us so many evil and wicked things, oh Lord. But we're asking you, Lord, to cover our path, Lord. Lead us down the path of righteousness for your name's sake. Father, I'm asking you, oh Lord, to stand on your promises as you do every day and keep us from making foolish mistakes, foolish decisions, foolish choices, Lord. Father, I'm praying and asking that you touch those that are lost, Lord. I'm asking you, Lord, to cover those who need your healing today, Lord. Father, touch them from their head to the bottom of the soles of their feet, Lord. They're asking you, oh Lord, for healing power, that every hand that touches their body, that they'll be healed in the name of Jesus, Lord. Father, I'm asking you to cover the household of marriages, Lord, continually leading the men to be in their proper places, oh Lord. I'm asking you, oh Lord, to do these things, Lord. We're standing on your words, and by our faith, we believe and trust you. Trust you, Lord, that we can trust you and trust no man. Father, I thank you for the Holy Ghost that leads us and guides us, that directs us and lines us up with your will. Thank you, Lord, for your mercy and your grace. If by chance I forget to say thank you, by chance I forget to show you how grateful I am that you have allowed me to get up to see another day. I thank you, Lord. I honor, I glorify you, oh Lord, in Christ Jesus' name. Lord, I'm asking that you touch each and every last one on this line. Keep Raheem and his family safe. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen. I thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Glory to God. Thank
you. Lord. Yes, Lord.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Hey, with that being said, brother, it's time for us to get out of here. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. That I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:10. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth today. They may need it as well as yourself. Have a great day.